friends, welcome back to another episode of Two Idiot Girls. Woo! Today we have two very special guests. I'm so excited. It's the first time we've ever had a duo.
True.
I don't know what camera to look at because I can't stop staring at all of them.
This is our main camera.
I know, that's fine.
Okay.
And I'm so excited because we have the one and only Good Children.
Woohoo!
Thank you for having us.
We're obsessed with both of
So
you.
no, I'm obsessed with both of you too. So I feel like we're gonna have a lot of laughs today.
Yeah,
I agree.
we're quadruplets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
We're
you guys
all
see the difference?
23-year-old girls.
Yeah.
We're all 23-year-old
literally.
teenage girls.
Teenage girls,
So figure
yeah.
that out.
At the end of the day, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are in the Big Apple.
Mm.
Here we are.
I know.
I feel like you're always here.
True.
It always feels
Truly.
like I'm
We
here,
really are.
yeah.
Every other week, I'm like, there they are.
There.
There they are.
Have you been to Quality Italian?
Yeah, we went
We
yesterday.
went last night. We went
Why?
last night, and I was nearly hospitalized after my experience.
Why?
Why?
What happened?
Tell
Well,
them the
first
bad
of all,
news.
one thing you should know about me is I'm a lactose intolerant girl.
Yeah.
Well, same.
Lactose beats my ass,
Yeah.
bitch. So, that being said, I've been to Quality Italian many times.
Yeah.
Never been hurt by dairy. Last night, they put something on with the little breads that they give out, and the bread is fire.
Yeah.
And she's like, and this is how I heard it. She goes, it's this and
Burrata.
burrata. That's what I thought she said.
Ooh.
And I said, ooh, I love burrata. And I'm putting it on, like, but it's like a schmear.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Thin,
okay.
Oh, it's like a stracciatella.
It's like creamy.
Well, then I'm thinking,
Because it's not burrata. That's the.
Well, that's the
thing.
spoiler.
Because the burrata, you're slicing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
and
hard.
so then when
yeah.
I heard
But this is a
burrata,
spread.
yeah. I was like, a spread, but it's burrata? Okay. And I ate it, and I'm like, and mind you, like, I'm talking about it as if it's burrata. I'm like, I love burrata with, like, tomatoes. And I'm talking to the table. Everyone's there. And they're all like, okay. Like, listening to me, and they're not really saying anything.
I did not hear you say burrata one time.
I know.
Right next
To spare to spare everyone the details, I was fighting for my life
Yeah.
last
yeah.
night and this morning.
You don't have to
Carried
spare
over.
details.
Yeah,
I'm
don't worry
willing to
about
talk
it.
about it.
Well, you know, like, I've talked about it on Two
We
Idiot
talk
Girls
about
many
diarrhea a
times.
lot.
Oh yes. Well,
Yeah,
same.
I've
I think
talked
that's
about
what we share.
lactose
Yeah.
beating my literal ass, like beating me within an inch of my
It
life. I've
beats
talked
my
about
ass
that.
for
It
sure.
does.
You get like
Yeah.
fully undressed.
Yeah.
We talked
Yeah.
about
Your
getting
skin's
fully
gray.
undressed.
Yeah.
Socks
yeah.
off.
Socks off. Socks off.
Yeah, literally.
You know when, like, I literally describe it as, like, when it's so bad you can't even look at your phone.
Oh yeah.
You can't even look at your phone.
Your head is smacking.
Yeah,
the wall.
you're just like,
Yeah.
Andrew's
my
always
God.
smacking the wall.
and like,
It's like
Embarrassing.
you're in a construction
Well,
zone.
because the thing, what I'm learning
In my
from you
bedroom,
is
I share the wall with the bathroom. It's scary.
I can't even pee in a urinal. Like, I have like stage fright. So
I
like
saw this
knowing
thing.
that
Ew.
other people can hear me do anything makes me sick.
Sure.
Sicker to my
Sicker,
stomach.
yeah.
But the thing about you is what I'm gathering is that you do have self-control, because if I was to go to Quality Italian knowing I have IBS, I'm lactose intolerant, I
Yeah.
still would get the fettuccine Alfredo. So it's
Oh,
like,
100%.
I'll see you later.
well,
Yeah.
that's the thing
Like-
is, I thought I put all the stops in place
Yeah.
where I was like, I'm
For
fine.
sure.
I even switched out my regular pasta. I'm like, is there any way you could do not a vodka sauce? Because
Yeah.
like, I still pay the price a little bit. I pay the piper just a little on that one.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It's fine. As soon as we leave the table, I'm like, something's
Oh,
brewing.
no.
Yes.
A storm is coming,
A storm
honey.
is coming. You're like, guys, I'll be right out.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like,
I'm gonna
no,
wait outside.
And if I'm not right out, you know what's happening.
yeah, like as soon as the elevator comes, I'm like, all right, bye guys, see ya, good night. And we go to my room, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom in there for an hour. Come out, and I'm like, okay, hopefully that's over. That's the worst of it. It wasn't. She visited me multiple times that night.
Stop.
Just my stomach, it literally
Oh,
feels like I'm
God.
like someone stabbing me in the stomach with a knife, because that's just how lactose intolerant I am.
Yeah.
And then this morning, I'm like in pain. I'm like like hunched over while I'm in glam because I had other work stuff this morning. And then when I like leave, I'm done, and I'm talking to her. And she's like, what do you think it was? Like, do you think maybe it was food poisoning? I'm like, I don't know. And I was like, I mean, it could have been like that burrito that we had with the bread. And she goes, burrata? And I go, yeah. She goes, when did we have that? And I'm like, with the bread. And she goes, girl, that was ricotta.
Yeah.
And then I
That
go,
makes
huh?
sense.
Oh, they don't put honey on burrata.
Well, then I go, well, that's why I didn't eat a lot of, I ate enough of it, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong,
Yeah.
clearly.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Clearly.
evident enough. Yeah.
But I didn't eat enough of it, and if I had, I would have had to cancel all my work obligations.
Of course.
I would have been hospitalized probably.
Ricotta.
Easily.
Girl, and I said,
do
this is
love-
not just like whipped heavy
No.
cream or something.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It
and
absolutely is.
heavy cream specifically is my op. Like, if she ever manifests into a person,
Yeah,
We're
We're
fighting.
beating up.
We're
beating
we're
up.
you and me are jumping her.
Like the YouTuber fights, but it's you versus.
Yeah, I don't want to box Jake Paul. I want to box ricotta. Ricotta
For free.
cheese.
A
For
whole
free.
milk ricotta, not part skim. No.
I was like, when she told me it was ricotta, I was like, I thought she said burrata, and she
Yeah.
goes, it was a spread. I'm
And
like,
then I told her,
girl, I don't
surprised that the
know.
lady's like, "Do you want to get 2 for the table?" She was like, "Yeah." And I
Because
couldn't
I
tell
thought she
okay.
Yeah.
And then I saw that spread, and I was like, okay, I mean, work. I don't know how Italians be doing it. Okay. It's not my
Yeah.
culture.
No,
How am I
it's
supposed
not.
to know?
Well, we say ricotta,
Ricotta.
which is you wouldn't have
Made
tripped
up.
that up. If she was to come to the table and say this is ricotta.
Satan, but like, you know, all the same, I guess. But other than that, New York trip's been great.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
so far so
Other
good.
than that, I was fighting for my life this morning, but it's okay. She's recovered.
Well, if you need to stop recording at any point and just go shit your brains out, please, by all means.
Okay, don't
we'll be
worry.
there. Don't worry.
I'll let you know,
It's a
girl.
safe
Okay,
space.
please.
Yeah, it's a safe space. You're good.
So you guys live here in New York.
We do.
And
Like
you're
born and
roomies.
raised, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, like give everyone the lore for those of them who are uncultured and don't know about good children. How y'all know each
So,
other?
Me and Andrew met at a Hard Rock Hotel pool in Orlando, Florida at 4 years old.
Oh
Which
my
is
As you
crazy.
do.
Yes, you
of
do.
course. It
Bec-
was one of those typical, those pool
Meet
friends you
cutes.
make. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a meet cute. However, we ultimately then discovered we lived like 4 minutes away from each other.
That's
on
Yeah.
Long
That's
Island.
crazy.
Joe was going to part-time preschool and I was going to full-time, so we
Same
weren't in the same
preschool.
class,
I
but
see.
same preschool.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Didn't
You guys
know.
meet in Florida?
We
Yeah.
met in Florida. We were like twirling in the pool.
And then Andrew's
gay.
family.
That one's
Later
like
on in
me.
that trip, Andrew's family raided my family's cabana at the Hard Rock Hotel, and it
The
was
food.
one
Don't
of the
worry.
first memories, one of the first like traumatic memories I ever have is like walking in and being like, "Where's our Sprite? Like, what happened
Being
to
robbed
the
by
bananas?"
Andrew's family.
The apple
was-
doesn't fall far from the
It
tree.
was Muscarellas. It was the Muscarellas.
We took the fruit basket. What do you want to say? Because
Yeah.
they
You
just
had no
needed a little
choice,
something.
yeah.
Little
Listen, it is
vitamin.
what it is.
Yeah.
They
Don't
knew you
offer
guys.
it if you don't want me to have some.
Exactly.
I don't think
Yeah.
it was offered.
Oh,
I just can't imagine a world where my parents would just like come into your cabana and start taking
remember
all of
this.
your
Like, is
Four
this
years
not
old
for
telling
everyone?
them he said it was fine.
Yeah.
He's literally fine and friends with him. That's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been best friends ever since. We hang out every single day, and now we live together. We,
together.
do
Love
the pod
I love
together.
that.
When did you
Me
guys
too.
start the pod?
It was just our year and a half anniversary this past
Wow.
weekend.
Cute.
Yeah, so a year and a
Time
half
flies.
ago.
Yeah,
Time
6
flies.
weeks ago is when it started, technically, is what I like to say. We're brand new.
Yeah,
I
we
love
keep saying it's
that.
just been 6 weeks until someone buys it on that, and they're like, "No, you're old."
I've seen you guys for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like even how Dace and I discovered you were your guys's. I mean, other than the pod, was your guys's home videos. You have quite a
So
few
funny,
together.
dude.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys
we
love a home
really-
video.
Always had a flip video camera in my hand.
that.
Love.
at
We had a
all
flip, too.
times.
Yeah.
I mean, I really kind of want to bring back the flip. I
Yeah.
have
We
bought a few on
should.
eBay, and they break within a day. Now I feel like the hardware was not meant to sustain more than a year, which is so
I
unfortunate.
mean, the USB stick being built into it is pretty
Right.
nutty.
And you
Everything.
plug it in,
I
and then
agree.
your computer's loud. It's like,
Yeah.
zzz.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
an
I would get
engine.
them and the USB would snap right off that computer. Like, it happened a lot. It
Yeah.
was a problem in my house. But me and Andrew would record like every single time we hung out. We just like did skits like you guys did. Like
Yeah.
fully just kind of like got to work, got into drag.
Got into drag.
Got it done.
And what the fuck were y'all doing?
Joe was
Exactly.
exactly. Joe was directing. I was showing up. He's like, "Today we're recording
It's so
Farmville Moms."
sad.
I'm like, "I'm literally ready." He's like, he's like, "Stand there, smile." I'm like, "This is my big break."
And we look back at videos now, and you can like tell that I'm actually holding Andrew hostage in all of them. Where like he looks so nervous and so sick, and I would just start rolling and not tell him what we were doing.
No.
It was
So,
like
like,
improv.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one of my favorite ones is you're like, "Do you think I want to be this talented at the guitar? I want to be a stagehand." And he's like, "Why do you have to be so good?" Over and over.
People
I can't help
really
it.
thought that was serious
Yeah,
too.
So
that one sent
I
me
did
to
too, but
therapy.
it made
that
me
was
laugh.
the one.
You're like, "You're so mean and
I was
you're
like,
so
oh, I'm
jealous."
a terrible
I'm like,
person.
And you're all, well, first of all, thank you. That means I'm a great actor.
Yeah.
Yes,
I-
exactly.
we
From
could've
a
been
young
on-
age, yeah.
It was
It's
Disney
like, I'm just
Channel.
too
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
It
we were
had
like,
to be.
Hannah Montana. I've always wanted to be like living a double
best of both
life,
worlds.
the best of
Yeah.
both worlds.
The best of
and
both worlds,
There
in
you
fact.
go.
Here we are, living the best of both worlds. I guess.
I guess you could say.
I guess. She was
Speaking
a
of-
podcaster.
Speaking of Disney Channel, Daison and I quote your guys' one of your newest promos where it's
No,
your
it's
Halloween.
from last year.
Oh, from last
The
year.
Halloween town
Your
hall.
Halloween episode.
Marnie, gay.
Gay.
Dylan,
Yeah.
gay.
Yeah,
Damn
we go.
skeleton.
Calabar, gay.
The mom, gay. The grandma,
Gay.
Gay.
The mom, gay.
The damn skeleton. Benny.
Yay.
Yeah.
When you guys were like, that is the gayest movie
It's true.
in the history
It
of
is.
Disney
I've
Channel.
learned one thing is that if you just get on the internet and call something gay,
Yeah.
it'll get 3 million views.
There you go.
Like, it's so easy, but you have to open yourself up to their response.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people are attacking you.
The
I'm
funniest
kinda
part
like,
about that is, first of all, you're right, and second of
Yeah.
all, is that was one of Daison's favorite Disney Channel movies. Gay.
Gay.
yeah, no, it adds up.
It adds up.
Halloween
Just like
Town's the queer experience.
Yeah.
truly. And you know what's funny is in our Halloween episodes we were talking about like old costumes and stuff, and we were saying how Daison was a witch like literally every year for
But
like
like different
9
versions,
years.
like a purple witch, a red witch,
A spider witch,
yeah.
a bat witch, like
Spiderella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the one with the gold and black.
Yeah.
And she had a big cunt collar.
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
course.
And a
And
big
then
bell
a black
sleeve.
lip to really
Ooh,
pull it
the
off the
black
vampy
lip.
look, really.
She was always a witch, and she's like, "Well, that's because I'm gay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
we're
feel like,
like,
every
yeah.
gay kid was either a witch or Maleficent. I feel like
Oh
like
my
And
God.
isn't
one
she
and
a
the
witch?
same.
It
They're
isn't
one
she
and
a
the
witch
same.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is technically a witch, so
Maleficent. We should be Maleficent next year.
both Maleficent.
Please. Please.
You know what's funny too is when we talk about costumes and stuff on Two Idiot Girls, like, and we talk about anything that was like Daison's like gay awakening, they never forget that shit.
No.
They remember
throw it in my
every-
face every single day.
Yeah, like we talk about how Lemonade Mouth was like your gay awakening,
Yeah.
and they have not forgotten that. They continue to
I get
send
tagged in Haley Kyoko's TikToks all the time.
I-
Like she's been in a relationship for a long time.
or
Please stop.
Lemonade
sorry,
Mouth
please.
TikToks.
Please stop.
You're
I
bullying
just
me.
recently watched the final scene from Lemonade Mouth and actually was moved to tears. I was like, I forgot it.
When they
and
overcome.
When what they
Yeah.
overcome, and then they're like at a sold out stadium, and you're
Yeah.
like, these kids made it.
They
It
started
was-
from detention and look at them
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
I was so floored. I was like, this was the moment for me. Like that.
That was your inspiration.
That was
is
the
like,
first time I saw myself on stage. Was Lemonade Mouth.
Represented.
And
Yes,
when
it
you're
was
on
so
stage,
important.
you're gonna think about
Here
Lemonade.
comes the breakthrough. Here comes.
When
the
I saw
day.
her 100-year-old cat, and he goes, "Wow, that cat is old," I felt represented.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she's
Yep.
like, "My dad's in prison, huh? What does that have to do with your 100-year-old?"
Like came out of nowhere.
Literally nowhere. We talk about She's So Gone, the song so
It's
much.
so
It's
good.
so good.
I'm
And then I
sick of
remember
it
when
being
they
snubbed by
did-
the Grammys.
Remember when
if I'm being
deserves-
honest.
It
when they did
deserves.
the
Movie
Power
in
Rangers
general.
movie, when they did the Power Rangers movie,
Oh, yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, the pink one's is it Naomi Scott?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, from Lemonade Mouth." Oh,
Of
you guys don't know her
course.
from that? You're not cultured. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah. that
Well,
makes
it's just like the main girl. You remember the movie Starstruck?
Yes.
Of course.
That one's
The main
so
girl
good.
in that movie, she was in a
The
spin-off of The Vampire Diaries, which is like called The Originals.
Oh yeah.
And when people were like, "Oh, she's so pretty, she's such a good actress," I'm like, and no one remembers Starstruck.
and we're not talking.
And you're
about
all
it.
allegedly
like,
fans.
we're not talking
Sure.
about it.
Fans.
Yeah.
That's one of my
Fans.
favorite, like, that's one of the Two Idiot Girls fandom's favorite impressions that I do is of her when she gives that
hear it.
moving press conference at the end when she's talking about, like, how the paparazzi keeps harassing him.
Yeah.
She's like, "You guys don't care about anyone." She goes, "It's so isolating. You don't care who you hurt. Friends? Family? Privacy? You don't care at all." And then they're like, "Damn, she has a point."
And she didn't win any
lack of
awards.
emotion.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
yeah, she's like, friends? Privacy?
Wait,
Yeah.
that's my streaming tonight.
Yeah, watch
Have
it.
to.
I
It's
don't think I've
good.
ever seen it.
Oh,
Shocking.
That one's a
I
good
think I've
one.
seen it.
That's
that
such
with,
a fanfic.
Sterling.
Sterling Knight.
Sterling Knight.
Sterling
Yeah,
Knight.
I almost said Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us.
I
That
also,
Different,
I also
different,
was
different,
gonna
different.
say that.
All right, friends, we're going to take a quick little break, and this is with our friends at Tushy. So sometimes you need to aim lower to achieve your higher self, and I'm talking about butt care. So I really enjoy using my Tushy because it feels like I get a little break just to take for myself, and it makes me feel so much cleaner than using wet wipes. And honestly, y'all should get yourself a Tushy too. Make your restroom your best room, and that's on period. So with over 100,000 5-star reviews, see why millions of real pooping humans already love Hello Tushy Bidet. Every Hello Tushy Bidet attachment comes with a 30-day risk-free guarantee and a 12-month warranty. Hello Tushy Bidet's fresh stream of water cleans your bum 2 times better than wiping. Even if you use wet wipes, you're still smearing poop around, yuck, and introducing nasty chemicals to your butt. Using a Hello Tushy Bidet also prevents poop particles from spreading to your hands and everything you touch. So take care of yourself from the bottom up this holiday season. Visit hellotushy.com/2idiotgirls and use promo code 2idiotgirls for 10% off your first order. Don't miss out on their Spend and Get event going on now through November 18th. That's hellotushy.com/2idiotgirls. Now back to the episode.
I have something to confess about Sterling Knight
Oh my god.
in particular.
Remember Sunny with a Chance? That was fun.
Of course.
Yeah, Chad Vancouver, of
Of
course. After I watched Sunny with a Chance, one of the first sex like dreams I ever had was about Sterling Knight. I'm not proud of it. And when I say sex, I just
happens.
mean like it was very like PG
Right.
kind of like sexual,
Like a peck, like a-
like
He
it
took
was
his time.
like it was getting there.
Took
Yeah,
his
he took his
time.
time.
He
It
was
was like
sweet.
I'm like, oh, it's like sexual fantasies. It's like him being nice to me.
You're like, whoa, that did something.
It's men respecting me.
Because you're 14.
Yeah.
Chad
I remember we were on
Yeah,
we were on like a date at Disneyland. That was like one of my first like
I love that.
Oh my
sex dreams I
God.
ever had was about him, and I remember waking up being like, okay, I don't know how I feel about that. I have a lot of mixed feelings
The
about
date
that
at
one.
Disneyland though, that's romance.
Yeah.
Listen.
That's
True
fan
romance.
fiction.
That was the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Starstruck was literally what we dreamed about happening to us.
Yeah, with One Direction every day of my life.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep, yep,
With
yep, yep, yep.
Liam Payne.
You're
Yeah.
You're
That
big
was a
Liam.
her
was my
thing.
thing.
Right.
Who was
Well-
your thing?
Who's your
My
bias?
bias
Yeah.
was I was a Harry girl.
Okay, still a Harry girl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Of course.
I would say I'd say I chose correctly.
Yeah,
I'm one
yeah.
of the
You
only
made the
ones to
right
survive.
choice.
I
Yep.
think. Listen,
The others were the weakest link.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
what's that Liam Payne one that I love? The meme of him.
Strip that down.
Yeah.
No,
That one
no.
too, like the little choreograph,
dance?
like dance
Yeah.
that he does. No, it's like he was filming.
I know. I can't remember.
He was like singing a song. Fuck, it's gonna bug me. But I kept reposting it for a while because it just made me laugh so hard. And I was like, it's
don't
like
remember
he's like singing a song. Oh my god, it's gonna kill me. I'll remember it towards the end,
Okay.
and I'll bring it up. But
Remember when he did a Christmas song with Dixie D'Amelio?
Liam
don't even
Payne.
I don't even know that.
No, I didn't
I
know
feel like
that.
would be my number one song.
I'm gonna find it.
In your Spotify rap.
Yes.
What was the
This is
song?
true.
What
Top
was her
artist
song?
is
Be
Dixie.
happy.
Sometimes
Sometimes I don't wanna be happy.
And you know what? That's so true.
No,
Yeah,
I was like,
don't hold
why
it
was I
against me.
screaming? I was like walking around like, she's got a point.
Yeah.
Like,
She may be onto
COVID.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, peak COVID.
She's just like me.
Not to transition harshly, but we did all agree prior to filming that we were going to run the New York City Marathon.
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
See, she'll do it now. So in her
Thank
our
God.
episode that came out this week, I asked her and she said absolutely not.
And I saw you post about it.
Yeah.
You said, no,
Yeah.
you're more than welcome to join us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she wants to do it.
I'm
That's
with
fine.
that.
Whatever.
Well, after I saw all the videos and they made me very emotional, I was
Yeah.
like, maybe I will do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to take it seriously.
But you kind of can't beat the attention you get from
Yeah.
it.
And you know what?
Listen,
if that's
and
why
I'm
doing
gonna get
it-
attention.
Yeah.
One thing about
for
me.
sure.
Yeah.
Gonna get it. And like the people that like wrote their name like very big.
Yeah.
This is a weird
I was
thing
cheering
you've been saying to me.
Because I was watching, I was there, and I saw them run past, and I'd be like, "Get it, Ray, get it, Drew," and they're like, "Thank you," and I can only imagine that would keep me going.
That would
that would
sustain
make
me.
get right off
No.
that road. I would go right home.
I-
A stranger started screaming my name
Like,
like that.
just
That would
say
kind of
my
scare me a
name.
little bit, but I would
Yeah.
love
You
the
think so?
attention at the same time.
It's like if you willingly put your name on your shirt, then
Right.
you know people are gonna say something
Yeah,
about you.
that's true. That's very
Like,
true.
duh.
I want
duh.
all, if everyone I know and love, and even those who I don't
Mm-hmm.
know personally but love me, are not with personalized signs along
Yeah.
the road, what is
Yeah.
even for?
Right.
I'm not finishing the course.
And I'm
Yeah.
thinking you will need to station friends and family. I think every half mile.
Yes,
I have to.
I need
Because-
to. Everyone needs to keep moving as I'm moving. Yeah,
Absolutely.
At this, we're all running the marathon. Really.
Everyone's stressed on the subway. Like, we have to
They're
get to
running
Central
faster
Park.
than you are.
I get to where they said they were gonna be. I'm all unbelievable. No one's
Yeah.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm mad.
And then I'll stand there and I'll wait for them
Yeah.
to show
Oh,
up.
for sure.
And then I'll
For
continue
sure.
the marathon after
Yeah.
that.
But I think that as long as we can like commit to having fun, that's all.
Yes.
People are like
Yes.
trying to run like sub
I'm not
3,
doing-
sub 4.
no.
Like
What does that
we're
even mean?
going
I'm just trying to
subway.
What does that
What is
even
she
mean?
Sub 3. Like you
Like
want to run
hours?
a 3
Yeah,
hour
under 3 hours.
marathon. Can you imagine?
Absolutely. I couldn't even run a 3-hour mile.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It would take
I'm
us a few
bored.
days.
yeah.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
want to sit down.
That's it. Because we're gonna jog, we're gonna run, we're gonna walk.
Yeah. I want to be there for vibes.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
want to
wanna be there
laugh
for
the whole
vibes.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to laugh. I want to giggle.
Yeah.
I want to
And
drink
most-
all the free cups of Gatorade.
Yeah.
I'm
What if
not
I
even
only
sweating.
did it for the Gatorade?
Great reason to do it.
That rush of getting the cup of
Yeah,
Gatorade.
I spent hundreds of dollars
Yeah.
just to get the Gatorade and the
You
T-shirt.
fundraise
I
and
feel like
yeah.
it's,
And the medal.
it's a fun opportunity to wear a cute outfit as well, which I
Yes.
think is really
Right.
important.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
I think
posing.
that's-
Yeah.
The pictures are worth it.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. I think otherwise I would never be doing this in my entire life.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
there's
it's all about the attention, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna definitely. I'm like someone who already experiences like snapping hip syndrome. So external snapping hip. So I'll need a double hip replacement by the end of it, but worth it.
All the attention
it.
is so
But
worth it.
yeah.
100%.
I'm like, thank you guys.
My
Yeah.
boyfriend went through a running phase, like, I want to say earlier this year, where he was like running all the time. I was like, okay, you think you're better than me or not?
So weird.
And I remember him being like, oh, I kind of want to run a marathon. I'm like, do you? You want to run a marathon? Congrats.
Yeah.
I don't. And he was like, you don't want to run a marathon? I was like, I don't want to pay to exercise.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You leave this room, you're like, I'm running the marathon.
Yeah, I was
He's
like,
literally
"Oh,
running a
fuck."
Well,
marathon.
even when I was telling him about it, even before we talked about it, I was like, those videos look so cute. And he's like, I know. I was like, maybe we should do it. That would be fun.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, we can. And we could start running together. I was like, I don't want to train. I just want to go for fun.
Yeah.
I want to bring vibes.
You're not training, you're just showing up, and 26.2 miles just happens.
Easy.
Casually.
You're like,
Yeah.
I just do like a type 5. Like I'm doing a routine. I
Yeah.
have a mic. I'm workshopping
that would be the
jokes.
best
Yes,
possible
good.
option.
Yeah.
Listen,
Turn
I'm just
into
every
content.
stop I'm stopping to tell jokes
Yeah.
and get it. And I put out a tip jar.
For sure.
Not required, but appreciated.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
That's kind of my plan as
That's
of right now.
actually perfect.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, why
Everyone loves
not?
a good laugh while they're running.
yeah.
And if you, I'll
think
I'll
so.
hold the camera for you if you want.
you'll be backpedaling.
I'll run back. Yes, the
Gotta
whole
capture
time.
content
Yes,
too at the
easy.
same time. Make
And
it
then we're
extra worth
security,
it.
like making sure he doesn't fall down.
Yes,
yeah,
of course.
We're getting
So
people to
behind-
interview.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, even we brought up the marathon on the episode because we were talking about undie runs. Like, did you guys have undie runs at your college campuses?
No.
What college did you guys go to?
I went to Loyola University, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
It's a very small.
I've heard of
Catholic
Loyola.
school.
Yeah.
There's a Loyola Marymount, I think,
There
in
is.
California.
There's a few.
Yeah.
Jesuit.
I went to Hofstra on Long Island.
Okay.
I don't really consider myself having gone to college because I went 2 days a week and then graduated early.
Look at you, smarty pants.
I was a commuter. It was a kind of dark life. It was really.
That's how
dark.
my boyfriend went to college too. He's a commuter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was not really a college experience. I
It's
have
not the
no
same.
idea what an undie run is.
Oh, girl, explain the
Is it
lore.
like streaking?
It's
Kind
like a form
of.
of that. So
Okay.
my understanding of it was like it would happen at the end of like finals week,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
that's you celebrating the end of finals is to run with people you don't know in your like your underwear.
Well, first off, you're supposed to start fully clothed.
I would think you show with clothes
and
you don't care
shed
about.
clothes.
Stripping as we go.
as you run.
Or they're like, okay, we're starting at like the marathon. Then you instead of running the marathon, you take off all your.
We
Yeah, I was
should
gonna
do
say.
that.
yeah.
We turn the New
We
York
treat
City
it like an
Marathon.
undie run.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like think
We
New
were
York City
26
Marathon, but at the
layers.
end you're all drunk and you're in your underwear.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, perfect.
And then we're getting arrested.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's just a West Coast thing.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like when we talk to people, they're like, I don't know what
Well,
that
did you go to
is.
you went to bigger schools? Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
she
that
went to
might-
the University of Oregon.
Okay.
And I went to the University of Hawaii.
Okay.
So we both had one, but I feel like it's also a Greek row thing. Like I feel like if you had a big
Like a big fraternity sorority life,
frat,
then they'll do that. Yeah.
Were you both partaking in it?
No.
I feel like I would be mortified to
Yeah.
take my clothes.
Yeah.
But I
Like,
feel
yeah.
like if someone said, Andrew, do you want to do it? You would never say no.
You're kind of attention.
And people pleasing.
Yeah.
even
I was in like student government, so I was like, if
At your
this-
college?
yeah, of course.
Okay. Did you pass a lot of like important policies?
Yeah,
and
for
things?
sure.
Oh, okay, okay.
The
did
assembly
you win
really
a position
brought
of
it down.
power?
I mean, I was an assemblyman, so
okay.
I eventually quit to join acapella, but that's a whole different story. I was like,
Andrew's high school
Gay.
story.
yeah,
Gay.
there was a lot of things happening in
Pursuing your
college.
true
And they were all
passion.
gay.
And,
And
you,
they
didn't
all-
you also have to quit lacrosse to pursue acapella?
I did, and that one really like ripped the heart out of my parents because they thought like for some reason I was playing club, like I was gonna go professional for lacrosse, which is not a thing, but
That's
yeah,
their dream, not
it was
yours.
their dream.
Exactly.
Troy
Exactly.
Bolton. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Dad,
I was
I just
like,
want to sing.
Dad,
Just wanted to be
and you know what my
acapella
mom
group.
said, and I love my mom, but she was like, I called her and I was like, Mom, I'm auditioning for acapella, and she goes, that's so sweet. You have a great personality. They can teach you how to sing.
Okay.
Because she didn't
She read you
know. She
down.
read me down for filth because I was somebody who I would only sing in the shower. And then
Like
You're
Troy
like, you-
Bolton.
And
You're
then
like,
you
you don't
open
know.
that voice.
and then the
and
rest
that
is
mouth.
history.
Yeah, there you go.
Solo.
And she ate her words.
She ate her words when I was singing
Respectfully.
Man in the Mirror.
Glee
Anyways.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Glee one is so good.
And the
The
Kiki
Keke
Palmer.
Joyful Noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Andrew
something.
really got me onto that one.
Yeah.
I watched that a lot in dark times. And it's like so auto-tuned. It's insane. It's so
But
good.
it doesn't even matter about the auto tune. It's the passion and emotion she brings
It's
to
the
everything
shit.
she
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
What's one of the most iconic auto-tuned like riffs in a movie, in a
Is it-
silly ass movie?
Well, silly changes my answer.
It's like it's not supposed to be silly.
dark tone to the film.
Yeah.
Raise your voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of the best.
When she
auto
stands up,
tune.
and she's like,
Yeah.
la, la, la,
Yeah.
yeah.
In the
La, la,
beginning,
la,
the
la.
first 2.5 seconds, that's her.
La,
Yeah.
la,
Last
la,
15,
la,
don't know
la,
who that
la.
is.
No.
That's
Yeah.
definitely not
It's
her.
so good.
That is
Even in the
so
Lizzie
good.
McGuire movie, like when she's singing at the very
Oh,
end,
yeah.
multiple women are singing for her.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
just
Oh
was
yeah,
there.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
her.
Definitely
Yeah.
not
Her
her.
choreograph is a chorus. She's
Yeah.
an a cappella group. And
Yeah.
something.
She is.
She played
is.
tracks in the background before she went on stage.
Dude, that episode we did with Billy, that was one of the when I made that joke about turn down the mic, and I was like, "Where's that from?" And nobody knew. And then I was like, "It's from the Lizzie McGuire movie." You know when she does that horrible Italian accent as her own
course.
twin,
Yes.
and then she's like,
Isabella.
"Turn down Isabella's mic." And then he's like, "What?" And she goes, "Turn down the mic." What accent is that? Not Italian. Don't know what that is.
The way they just gave her a brown wig and they're like, get over
Yeah.
it.
She's
girl."
Italian now.
Yeah.
But she like kind
Listen,
of looked
I
different.
believed it.
She looked different.
She had us fooled.
Yeah.
I was in it.
Yeah.
We loved that movie.
Yeah, of
That
course.
was the big one.
That
for
was the
us.
ones we like kept renting over and over again.
Well,
From
Passport to
Blockbuster.
Paris is one of our favorite
Yes.
movies.
Any
It's so
travel, I feel like anytime you saw a different city on screen.
good.
oh my
Yeah,
God.
like What a Girl
Like,
Wants.
yes.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
What a Girl Wants is a
So
great one.
good.
Oh, that's so good.
I just love when they do the fashion show. There's always like one scene where
Always
they're
a fashion show.
like a makeover. That's the best part.
And the Lizzie McGuire movie. How can you
Yeah.
forget that glow?
The igloo, yeah.
The igloo is what gets me
Obsessed,
in
yeah.
that.
Dude, and even in Passport to Paris, they did one too, and they go on the shopping spree
Yeah.
with the
Of
model.
They have a bunch of Prada bags. And like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Bunch
but
of
I'm
hats.
obsessed.
You're like
Trying different
obsessed.
hats. I love to try hats on in Paris.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's just like a thing I
didn't-
do.
Yeah.
I was like, when we
They're
went to
just
Paris,
like
I didn't
me.
try on hats. I did experience racism, but I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
try on a
different.
hat.
Yeah, no hats.
No hats at all. Can you
No.
believe it?
Jeez.
Not one hat.
Gotta go back.
The whole time. Can you believe that?
Not one hat. I even we went to the gym there. I was just telling my mom this. We went to the gym in Paris. I've never seen a more like, you know those old timey pictures of like circus guys and they have those singlets on and they pick
Yeah.
up dumbbell like and it's two big balls.
Yeah.
That's what their gym looks like.
You're kidding.
What I believe the Ringling Brothers Circus is based off of.
Oh.
It's like
Toontown
throwing
when
each
you
other.
walk through.
yeah, it's all like it's literally Toontown. It's all like cartoony way.
Yeah.
It's like none of it's real, and the ceilings were like this high. So we were like walking. My hair was like getting frizzy because it was going like this on the ceiling.
Yeah, that's
And
what
they
I
all
was-
fit? Were they like 5'5"?
Yeah, everyone was either 100 years old
Right.
or they were like 5'2".
What gym were you going
Yeah.
to?
In Paris, France, I couldn't
Okay.
even tell you. I had
I
to
love
climb
that.
6 flights of stairs to get in there. First of all,
Well,
that's
that's
the
the
workout.
gym.
Yeah.
That's the
That's the
workout.
warm up. That's the
I
warm
go.
up.
You have to
Yeah.
go down 3 flights of stairs, up one more, up a spiral staircase into the gym.
No.
Was it just someone's
That's
like
our
living
marathon
room?
training. That's our marathon training.
See, I don't need to train for the marathon because I went to Paris. I even
Catacomb.
I ended up in the catacomb.
For whatever reason.
And I was like, there was a lot of dead bodies
So
down there too. I don't
Skulls. I don't know.
know.
It was weird.
Kind of weird, kind of dusty down there.
Do you want to be a bonehead?
And I remember when we were there, everyone they stare a lot in Paris. I don't know. I mean,
I've never been.
Yeah, same.
really, but you guys have been. You went to Europe though.
Yes, we have.
We went to the UK.
We went to the UK. We went to Italy.
Ooh,
last
okay.
year.
How
you
was
guys
that?
are gonna go again, right?
We're gonna go again.
Yay.
Yeah. Italy was amazing.
Was it
It
nice?
was truly life changing. It was based on the Lizzie McGuire movie. Like, that's why we went. was
Yes.
because- And then, oh my God, we go to Italy. I
This is
see
insane.
we're going to Rome, so we're like, of course, we're gonna like go to the Trevi Fountain where they filmed Lizzie McGuire.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
go
Did
to
you
the
wear a blue
Colosseum where
pinstripe
they
button
filmed-
down
I
and a
wish.
Tiffany's necklace?
I wish.
All right.
We did shoot the shot for shot scene, of course.
Got
for no
to.
reason. But I see someone post that they're staying at the hotel from the Lizzie McGuire movie. And I'm like, Andrew, book it. We don't think twice. We book it immediately. Without looking into
On
it,
spot.
we book it. We walk in. Andrew goes, oh my God, nothing has changed at all. Like, it looks just like the movie. I'm a little bit perplexed. I'm like, this doesn't look like, I feel like they renovated it. Like, I know what the
Yeah.
movie looked like. This is a
Yes.
massive hotel. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the same, but it's the hotel from the movie.
Yeah.
They also have really gorgeous rooms in that movie.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Oh, in the movie.
In the movie.
Oh, in the
Okay, okay.
movie.
We step into our room. It is the beds. It's like smaller than a twin bed.
They're together.
Together.
They're pushed
And I'm like,
together.
Yes.
hey Joe, what's up?
We're sharing that for it. And then I think at some point we did a 1 degree of research. Like we did 1 Google search and we learned
Because
that
we were looking for the elevator. You know the
Yeah,
that
the
main
iconic
She's
elevator.
like
we
running
got
in.
in that elevator.
With the
There
little
was
like creaky door.
Yeah.
The 2 doors. It's like
Yes.
a double door.
Yeah.
We go in
Yeah.
that elevator. It is Andrew actually has a panic attack, and
Yeah.
I've never seen you this nervous.
Yeah.
And it was within 1 second of just closing the elevator door. It's like I'm recording it. We're like, oh my god. And Andrew just looks at me and he goes, "Get me out! Get me out! Get me out!"
All right, friends, we're going to take one more quick little break, and this is with our friends at Uncommon Goods. So I don't know about you, but one of my favorite compliments to get is when I hear, where'd you get that? And it's during the holiday season, I bought someone a really cool gift that no one else thought of. It's my absolute favorite compliment that literally anyone can give me. So I'm so excited that we're partnering with Uncommon Goods. Uncommon Goods is here to make your holiday shopping stress-free by scouring the globe for the most remarkable and truly unique gifts for everyone on your list. Whether you're shopping for your Secret Santa or your entire family, Uncommon Goods knows exactly what they want. Here are a few of my favorite gifts that I found on their site. One of them is they have this create your own reel viewer. It's like, remember those little binoculars we used to wear when we were kids and had the little slideshows inside them? You can make your own personalized one. And it's so cute and it reminds you of your childhood. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I miss it. You know what I mean? I also really love they have these little geode personalized state ornaments that you could buy maybe from one of your friends who's from out of town and you want to make them feel special this holiday season. I don't know. I think it's really cute. So when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. These fine products are often made in small batches, so shop now before they sell out this holiday season. From art and jewelry to kitchen, home, and bar, Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same lackluster gifts you could find just anywhere. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/2idiotgirls. That's uncommongoods.com/2idiotgirls for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Now back to the episode.
Because it didn't seem safe.
No, none of them are.
No.
I the way that I was like, this Pee Wee Herman ass like electricity grid. I don't know why are your elevators on pulley systems?
Yeah, like not.
Why
for
is
me.
there a little rat down there going like this?
Yeah, it's like you're
why
in a
is-
cage, like I'm seeing through it. I'm like, I don't want to see that. Close me in.
when we went to our place in our apartment in Paris, it was like it was like one door that goes to like a cobblestone thing, another door, an elevator, another door, then the apartment.
Yeah.
So
Why?
and it's like we were on the 4th floor, which was like the top floor. 2 billion flights of stairs, and we're like, hey, no, I'm not climbing the stairs, not with all my bags.
Yeah.
And they were like, be careful how many people you put in that elevator because it cannot handle that much weight. And we're like, okay. And we all have 2 bags. There's like, how many of us? 5 of us. And so what we started doing was we sent the lightest person up first, which is Alex.
Alex is
and
the
we talk about
littlest
Alex on the
one.
pod. We're like,
Yeah.
she's the smallest, you go up first. And we put like 2 bags in there with her.
And then we close
we
close
close it,
Bye, Alex.
go up, and then we started putting all the suitcases in there and just closing the thing, and it would go
And
up.
then she would yell out the window, okay, send up the next round.
Or she would text us next, and then we would put more luggage in there and send it up. And I remember after we got everything up and we were just coming to and from the apartment, one time we got in, there was 4 of us, just not Alex. I think Alex was the only one on in there. Oh no, it was you, me, and Billy.
Yeah. The heaviest people on the
The
trip.
heaviest people on the trip, easily. We get in and I'm like, how much weight? Because it made this awful,
Well, 'cause
offensive
Billy,
sound.
Billy said, you guys go and I'll take the stairs.
Yeah, and I was like, no, we'll be fine. And we get in and it goes like, like
And when
super
you
loud.
step in, it like dips a little.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. And I
That
look and
sucks.
I go, what does the weight limit say on it? And it said like,
And the doors are closed and it's going,
yeah, and it's
moving
literally
up.
like 180 pounds. I said, we're way heavier than that. Like, oh, we must get there. Oh
I need to chop my legs off and then I can go in this elevator.
I was like, oh my god. And Billy was like, I told you guys to let me take the stairs. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna be mad at you because you got in the elevator. You listened to me, so I'm gonna be mad at
No,
you
this is your
if
fault.
something
Yeah, it's
happens.
Crazy.
I think even their like charger system, I was like, nothing
Figure
made
it
me
out.
more like America,
Yeah.
like than when I was over there trying to charge my phone.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why do I have 16 things I have to piece together to plug into the wall to charge my
Like
phone?
solving like national treasure.
I have to unlock it.
Yeah.
Literally a Rubik's Rubik's cube in order to like.
Exactly.
Even Deison was trying to. What were you
I was
trying
trying to like straighten my hair, so
Yeah.
I used like I plugged it into. They had like an adapter in the
Did it, like,
bathroom,
blow up?
and I was like, it's not working. And then Alex was like, oh, and she unplugs it and puts it in a different one. And she goes, oh, you put it in the shaver one. I'm like, there's just one for that.
shaver?
What the hell? That's
Too much.
Too much.
I'm like,
Any
how
sense
could you
to me.
possibly consider yourself a Western power, and that's what I have to do?
No.
How is that possible? No air,
No
nothing but
air.
stairs.
And listen, like I know this is, but what's the deal with the ice? Because I like a cold water, and also at the same exact time, like I've never been more dehydrated than. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm like, that's not normal. Like, I'm getting the smallest bottles of water, and then you go to dinner and they're
warm.
like, do you want water? And I'm like, yeah, I want water. And then it's like they're coming out in the bottles, and I'm paying $10, 10 euros. I'm like, tap. Anyways,
and then
Did
did
you
you
guys get
ask
the bus system like in London? I
we
don't know
took
how
the
different
train
in-
one.
in London, yes.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, so in
Yes.
Paris, it's like you either get on the train in half a second or it's gonna behead you. Like
or
it's
will.
taking
It
off.
is.
Like,
I'm
you
not
know the
surprised.
train here, like you can stop it, like because they have
Yeah,
cameras
yeah.
that'll tell you like someone's literally their arms stuck outside of it.
course.
They have like the doors to the train and then doors outside of it.
Yes.
That's like a
Yeah,
gate.
also
It was like the
That-
tube.
We watched like a girl get separated from her mom because her mom was like, "We're getting on this train," and then their arms were just like the daughter was like, "Ah!" and then someone pulled her out because the other doors are gonna literally kill her.
Yeah.
and the mom just took off without her. On the
And then
train.
the girl was going, it's okay. Like the French lady was going, like, you see her at the next stop. You see her at the. She's like 9. And I was thinking,
Horrifying.
I'm not surprised they came up with the guillotine because they probably modeled it after the
Yeah.
train door, because the way it will be like. It slams hard. Like it does. And like one guy, it slammed on him so hard. It like he was like, ugh, like it bounced off both shoulders.
It teaches you a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Teaches
it
you a
looked
lesson.
it like kind of knocked his glasses off a little, and he looked like he got on. And he was like, that shit looked like it
We
hurt.
watched like 3 people get like almost killed by that thing, and I told Alex, "I'm like, can we just walk? I don't want to be."
No,
I'm just so embarrassed.
The last time we took the train, we were like, okay, because we let 3 go by because we were so scared, and everyone's like packed in there tight, and I'm like, okay, if this next one comes and we can't fit in, we'll
getting a
just
car.
walk. Yeah, we're gonna get a car.
Yeah.
And then when it came and it opened, we were like, go, 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 go. We're like holding each other and pushing in as hard as we can.
Like a
Horrifying.
5-second window.
Yeah.
Girl,
Yeah.
not even. It's like 2.5 max.
Like
And
I had
then-
the subway when I lived here for 5 months. I had the
Yeah.
subway door closed on me one time, and it still makes me so embarrassed when I think
It's
about
so
it.
But it always
embarrassing.
open, like you know what I mean, like
I know, but it's
always
still it's like
open
that
for you.
pride.
and you're kind of like, why is it still opening? The people are coming, they're shoving their arms, their legs.
That's
their
different.
anything.
I was like
Top
walking
nose.
in and it closed on
Yeah.
my head, and it was so
no.
embarrassing. Like if
That
I
is
was halfway on
embarrassing.
and it hit
Yeah.
my leg, I'd be like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
whatever.
You should
Yeah.
be embarrassed.
If that happened to me, I would be too.
We were talking about the New York train system, and we were talking about how like sometimes when there's people on there, you can't pay attention to them.
No.
Like
Yeah.
if they're acting a little cuckoo,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, that's just your journey, girl. Happy for you. Not gonna look at you.
Like when I moved here, I could not believe how many people have conversations on their phone on speakerphone, and it's about the most personal things.
wild.
They're
Or,
talking
like,
out
always
loud.
doctor appointments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always doctor appointments.
They're like, no, it's still itchy. It's still itchy. Yeah, I tried the cream. It's not working. I'm all, and then they're like, well, did you try? They're like, yeah, I did. I tried everything. It's too much.
They're talking insurance. They're talking
Yeah, social
it is
security
crazy.
numbers. yeah.
Watching videos out loud.
Out loud.
It boggles
At like
my
top
mind.
volume on the train too. I'm like,
freaks
that's
me out.
crazy.
I'm
Yeah.
like, come on, put
Get
that away.
headphones. Yeah.
yeah,
That
I
away.
was telling because obviously like our collective manager Phil,
Yeah.
he lives in well, not New York, Jersey City, but still he's a New Yorker.
Yes.
And I was telling him about this funny ass TikTok I saw where someone, it's like clearly a tourist, like they're just trying to take the train. They're trying to mind their business. And there's someone on there, don't know what they're doing, but they are putting on a show. But they start like scaring him. So they start going like, ah. And then the guy is just like terrified. He's like, please, please. I'm sorry, please. And nobody else is helping. And everybody's just looking at their
Well,
phones.
you know, when that starts happening, they move to the other side of the train.
Yeah.
No,
They don't
it
help.
is-
They're
it
like,
is
he's
kind
got
of
it. It's
crazy
fine.
and then someone was like, that's what happens when you make eye
You
contact
can't
with
look
those
at
people.
them.
on the train.
Yeah.
You
Like, they
can't.
lock
bystander
onto you.
effect is so real.
Although every single time they
Same.
do like dance on the subway, like on the
Yeah.
rails,
With the tricks and stuff,
it
yeah.
is very impressive.
It is,
I'm
but
like,
I'm
how do they
watching
get
it
the
like
hat
out of
on
the
their
corner
head
of my eye.
every
I don't want to
time?
make eye
Yes,
contact
I'm,
because
like,
then they'll be
watching
like
it
they'll
from
have
the
their little
reflection of
cup.
my
Yeah.
phone screen.
Or like
I
yeah,
can't.
have my headphones in, but like nothing's playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one was pretty good. I'm like watching out of the corner.
I'm
of my eye.
mouthing
He
something.
killed that
I'm like,
one. Yeah.
I
Say
saw
it.
another video where this girl is like, everybody told me when I first moved here that something's gonna happen to me that's gonna teach me that I need to mind my own business, right? And she's like, and one time I saw this old lady and she looked like she was struggling, or no, it was an old man, and he looked like he was struggling to get on the train. And I'm like, hey, do you need help? And he's like, yeah, you could show me your tits. And she goes, and that's when I learned I need to mind my own business. I never spoke to anyone ever again on the train.
Yeah,
York.
you learn quick. New York City, the greatest city in the world.
Yeah.
They say that, and then I go, I don't know, is it?
Yeah, no, literally.
I don't know.
It's really
When the
questionable.
marathon's happening, sure, I'll give you
Yes.
that.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
and then it's
Specifically
our
us running the
city.
marathon.
For sure. It's
For
out.
sure.
Yeah, we run
We
that
run
city.
that city.
Exactly.
We are the rats that
Yes,
run that city.
exactly.
Truly.
Okay, so we're talking about
We did college horror
college
stories.
horror stories.
Beautiful.
Do you guys have any that you want to share?
I'm like, speaking of rats that
Or
run
funny
the city.
stories.
I could
They don't have to be
point, I could
horror.
come up with a lot for Andrew for sure.
I'm like, feed him to
you
me.
just told me one insane one recently. Well, there was one insane one that's not for that. What was what happened when you tried to jump off the top bunk?
Oh. Well, listen. So the thing about me is that in high school I didn't really drink. Like I drank like maybe once or twice. My mom, it got to a point where senior year my mom was like, you maybe should like drink a little bit. Like so when you
Get
go to
used to
college, like you don't black out.
You're not
I
a
feel you.
fucking
I'm
dork
like,
when you
Mom,
get to
stop!
school.
You're embarrassing me. She's like packing me like one beer. Like everyone's going to the woods for senior week, whatever. So college, I'm like, I'm a binge drinker. I'm taking like secret shots in the corner
Yeah.
type
Yeah, I
guy.
feel
So
you.
I'm like,
Secret shot.
secret shots. It's like Uber's here. I'm like, give me 2 minutes. Boom, 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 boom.
What's your sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then what? You're
A Leo.
A Leo. Okay.
So it's Halloween. I'm dressed as Prince George, which that was a
That makes
choice.
total sense.
Which
Yeah.
is, yeah, it was normal at the time.
Is Prince George the baby?
Yeah, so I was in an adult onesie. So
Okay,
you
I thought so. I just wanted to
someone
clarify.
could classify that as whatever. But anyways, I'm taking secret shots in the corner. It gets to a point where I'm now sobbing because once you cross a certain threshold, I'm crying. I'm crying about like I don't want to die. I don't want any of my friends to die. It's like getting dark, and then all of a sudden, I climb up. No, this is like not even funny. I climb up on the top bunk, like anything was gonna happen. There's a chair right underneath me, and my friends are like, Andrew, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm gonna do it. They're like, do what? And then I jump off of the top bunk and stick the landing, and they're like, okay.
They're like, wow.
Wow, that
Like
was
they would a
really
baby?
good. Like I was like, I'm
Such a
trying to prove a
courage,
point. There was
yeah.
like these straight guys in the room, like that guy's crazy. I'm in a onesie with a crown, with a like binky, jumping off the top bunk.
You're like,
a
okay, Spider-Man.
crazy person.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like one of the many. I will also say I'm gonna let you share yours, but I do maybe
The single one, so keep going.
the New Year's Eve story. Because that was college.
God.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be college. It could just
Right.
be early adulthood.
I have a really bad New Year's Eve story.
Okay, you want to
Oh,
go?
I'm out
she.
of college,
Hers is
yeah.
crazy, but yeah, you tell
You go
yours.
first, yeah.
Oh no, it's yours.
It's mine, but I want you to. Do you have one?
No, literally, I'm saying, please.
Do you want to go New Year's Eve story for New Year's Eve story?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay, you start first.
Okay, so.
Do you want me to tell it?
No, I could tell it.
I know, but I feel like your version of it and mine are different.
Well, so I'll tell my version.
then
okay,
you
yeah,
tell
you
yours.
go.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
I'll
I'll
chime
tell my
in.
version of what yours.
Exactly.
version
And then
was.
when
Yeah.
you tell yours, I'll
And
say
then you
mine.
tell
Yeah.
his version of her version of my version.
Then you're gonna spark notes it for everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll fact check.
So I think it was my first New Year's Eve after I graduated from college. So Drew's still a senior.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she came home to our hometown,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, a bunch of my friends that we went to high school with are having a party," and I was
Multiple parties.
like, "Yeah," and I was like, "I don't want to go to that," and so I still went because she told me to.
I was like, it'll be fun. Like, it's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna go. And like, one of my friends from college was staying with us at the time. So
And she wanted to go out, and
Yeah.
like where we lived at the time, like there isn't like nightlife.
Yeah.
People were like,
and
"Would
that
you-"
was my prime hoe phase. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, I was
She's like, "I'm trying to
going
get
out. Like,
drunk
that
and
was
go
my
out."
prime
College was
phase.
hope phase.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And so I went, and when I go out like that, I always black out, which is what
course.
happened because I drink
for you.
way too much. 'Cause
Yep.
I'm like, that'll make me feel better.
Yep.
and
Because
then it
she's
just
like
keeps
nervous
going.
about being out. Yeah.
So basically, we ended up like the last party was like, well, how far from our
This
house?
is the part where she gets fuzzy, right?
Wait,
but like,
yeah.
you're drunk.
She said,
But I'll
once
tell
the
you
clock
what-
struck midnight that because when I want to go home, it's time to go home.
Yeah.
Whether I'm
Sure.
drunk or sober, like,
Yeah.
it's time to go home.
Yeah.
yeah.
So she said once it hit midnight that I went up to her and I was like,
At
it's time to go home.
12:01, she's going, it's time to go. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, mind you,
Happy
we had
New
been to
Year.
2 parties at that point. The
Yeah.
party we were at was my good friend, and she had a big house. So
Yeah.
this is like her parents have a whole bunch of money. So there's lots of free alcohol and there's lots of people there. And so I'm like, what do you mean go home? Like, I'm confused. And she's like, it's like literally time to go home. And I was like, it's not, girl, relax. And like her partner at the time was there. And
We're both blacked out.
yeah,
Which
they're
is
both,
awful.
which I
Yeah.
didn't know, mind you. I thought that they were just feeling good, like drunk, because I was drunk.
When you're drunk, are you like the caretaker?
Always,
Oh,
yeah.
I get
She's
that.
a
That's me
Virgo.
being a Virgo.
Yeah.
Like, I just like, no matter how drunk I am, I'm still taking care of everyone.
Yep.
And at that point, that was like my peak tolerance, so I could drink a whole bunch and still be coherent enough to
Yeah.
like talk. And so she's telling me it's time to go home, and I was like, "You're gonna be fine. Like, you're gonna be fine. We're gonna have fun." And her partner comes and she's like, "Oh, I'll take her outside. We'll get a drink." I'm like, "Okay, great." She leaves. She's gone for maybe 8 minutes. I get a call.
No.
So my phone starts ringing. It's her. And so I'm like, because she's like 10 feet from me. And so I answer. I'm like, hello? It's her partner. And she's going, have you seen Deison? And I'm like,
No.
what? Like, I'm like, what do you mean have I seen her? And she goes, have you seen her? And I'm like, you just left with her. What do you mean you haven't seen her? I go and I find her partner. Well, I can't find her. And this girl's house was like on a big hill, and she had like a big long driveway that went steep down into a big neighborhood down to the main street. So it was like a journey to get to the house. I go all the way down that hill to the neighborhood, and that's where I find her partner, and she can't find her, and she has both phones. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I combed the whole house, couldn't find her. Then I'm like not having fun anymore. Like, I'm just panicked. I'm terrified. My friend's with me. And I'm like, I run down that entire street. I go all the way to the main street, and she's nowhere to be. I can't find this bitch.
8 minutes.
Yeah, and girl, I'm
You
not
ran the
kidding.
marathon in
Yeah.
8 minutes.
So maybe I have been.
So maybe
preparing for
she
this
can
my
do.
whole
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
The way I turned my back and then she's gone. Like, she's vanished into thin air.
It's time to go home.
And so then I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm panicking. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And so then a cop just is like randomly like driving, because it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And he pulls over and he's talking to me. He's like, are you the drunk girl that I got a call about? And then I go, no, but what was she wearing? Because I think it might be my sister. And then he goes, I don't know what she's wearing. Like, he's just being so unhelpful and rude to me. And I'm like, okay, well, can you please help me find her? Because I don't know where she is. And he's like, yeah. And he like pulls off and he's gone. And during this entire exchange, like when he leaves, I'm screaming at her partner. I'm lighting her the fuck up. I'm like, I can't believe you lost her. How could you do that? You told me you would watch her. Like, I was just like lighting her up, and I didn't even really care. That was the meanest I've ever been to her, and I don't regret it for a second, especially now. Like, fuck her. But even then, like, the cop's gone for like 10-15 minutes, comes back with another cop car. This bitch is in one of them. As soon as she gets out of the car, she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, what? And I said, and when she comes up to me, I'm like, get over there. And I start talking to the cops. Turns out what she did was, as soon as she walked outside, like walked away from me, went outside, she took off running, like full sprint running, ran down the driveway, down the neighborhood, down to the main street, took off down the street. She's running. Like,
But I remember, like, because I was blacked out, so I have like flashes of like stumbling, and I think someone pulled over because I'm like,
well, yeah, she's running. She's literally, I'm not kidding, she was trying to go home. Like, she's literally trying to make it home on foot. And then halfway through her run, she's not even really that far. She's like half a mile down the road. Well, she ran pretty
no,
far.
but someone pulled over and tried to help me, and then I was kind of like a little, what I could call sober at the time, and I was like, don't touch me, because I think it was a man.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
she kept
Oh,
no, and she
Jesus.
kept running,
And then I kept
and
running,
she
and then
crossed
he-
the street,
Yeah.
and then she got tired,
and then I laid
and
down
she
and
laid down and
to
went
sleep.
to sleep.
Like flat on my back.
Like,
so
she
then
went-
I wake up because I hear all these like car doors slamming behind me, and I sat up like a zombie, like sat up, and there's 6 cops standing around me. And then I was
She
like,
went to
oh
take-
no, what did I do?
She laid down to take a nap because she was tired. So she's like, I'm gonna nap, and then when I wake up, I'll finish going home.
Yeah.
She laid down, and a couple like
did you
saw
lay
her.
down?
Yeah, they saw her lay down. They tried to help her, and she was like, "Get off me!" And then they were like, "Okay."
We're
So
gonna
they
call
called
the
the
cops.
cops, and they were like, "I think there's a drunk girl. I think she needs help." And then they just brought her
was
back
me.
to me, like,
No, you waking up and going, what did I do?
Yeah, she got out. She was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I was like, get behind me. And then I had to talk to the cops. And I was like,
God.
They were
like,
so mean.
They were so
Yeah,
like, I didn't
sure.
do anything.
Right.
I'm like, you know how many people you've been picking up
Yeah.
all night?
Yeah.
Like, I'm
well,
not
they're just
doing
mad they're
anything.
working on New Year's.
I
But
know.
like,
Yeah.
not my
you're
tax
dumb.
dollars paid for it.
I
So.
know.
Literally.
Like, it's fine.
And even then, when I talked to them, they were like, get out of here before we arrest you. I'm like, for what?
Yeah, like for
And he's
what?
like, for
having
public
a good
intoxication.
time.
I'm all, you don't know she's intoxication. Maybe she just got tired.
Yeah,
Get out of my
maybe.
face.
And I'm throwing up.
You're
behind
throwing up. You're like, she has IBS.
She had
literally
ricotta.
She had a lot of
She had
ricotta.
ricotta.
She had ricotta at Quality Italian. You don't understand how that feels. The way I immediately sobered up and I was acting like her lawyer. I'm all,
course.
technically speaking, you can't arrest her because.
You're like,
And then I put her in an Uber and I was like, we're going home.
yeah.
And then I took them all home and then I put her and her partner to bed. Like I took both of their shoes off and I put them
Oh
in
my
bed.
God.
And she kept going, I'm really sorry. And I was all, go to sleep. And I just closed the door. And I was like so pissed off
And
at
next
her.
morning, you're like, hey. Hey.
I remember the next morning. I have it somewhere. I need to look for it. We went to get brunch at like
With our parents, yeah.
yeah, at a Mexican restaurant, and they had a mariachi band, which is great when you're hungover. We love
Oh,
that.
God.
And they were playing right behind her. And I took a video of her because she was like, she just looked so
The
ill.
loudest thing ever.
Yeah.
And she was like going,
Yeah.
had a good time though.
Oh my God.
It is jarring, like New Year's Eve, and like having an experience like that, and then always remembering it every single New Year's Eve.
Especially,
because I'm
like,
I'm not gonna drink.
Yeah,
any
I know
longer.
what part of the street it was. Like, I
Yeah.
see it and I go, that's the scene of
You
the
passed
crime.
it. Yeah.
My
where I went to
family
sleep.
calls it when she turned into a White Walker.
Yeah.
White Walker.
'Cause
The
she
fact
got
that you,
time to
the
go
fact that you were
home.
sprinting like downhill, making turns. Like, I can just like picture it like. And like
Super athletic.
You know what's so
Sure.
funny too is she was going the right way, so she really was navigating home. I don't know how on
With no
on
phone.
faith
like
alone.
North
Just a dream,
Star
really.
shit.
Just
Yeah.
a dream and a wine cooler that was
Yeah.
taking her
It's
home.
time to go
Oh my
home.
God.
Some cheap vodka and a mission that was driving her home.
Like
can't.
pure
Follow
drive
the
and
stars.
determination, really.
Yeah. That's what college is for, isn't
it
it?
is. It is. My story. I was a freshman in college.
It's not that dissimilar.
It's not that dissimilar.
Really?
Actually, at all.
Okay.
I was a freshman, and my friend Jackie was having a party, and it was like,
it's nothing alike. It's just
It's actually not.
hitting me now.
Yeah,
It's,
I'm like-
it's almost rude to say that.
yeah, we're like, it's actually the same exact thing. No,
That's
crazy.
it couldn't be any. Yeah. So she's having a party. I'm like, okay, great. It's gonna be pretty chill. She's like, her brother's throwing it. Whatever. Parents are gonna be there though.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, like how crazy can this get? I'm at a point again in my life where I'm like binge drinking if I'm drinking.
Drinking.
So it was a culmination of things. I was drinking Fireball shots, but chasing the Fireball. Why was I chasing Fireball shots? Chasing the Fireball shots with beer. Mind you, at the
Why?
time, I'm gluten free. I've actually
Allegedly.
done
The
everything.
worst.
Like my doctor once was like, maybe you should lay off gluten. I'm like, okay, so I stuck with it. And
That
I'm
was the worst time of my
Yeah.
life. Is when Andrew was gluten free. It was hell.
like, yeah, I made it because when
Eating
like someone's
those damn
gluten free,
pretzels.
and they make
gives
it
you
everyone else's
attention.
business too. They're
It
like,
gives you attention though. You're
Just
like,
like the
we're
marathon,
supposed
just like
to
the
binge
marathon.
eat the same food.
again, you're at a friend's house and like they're like the mom's making breakfast and you're like, oh no, I can't have the toast. I'm so sorry, I'm gluten free. I have my own toast in a Ziploc bag.
it has 100 holes in it. It tastes awful.
It's like a rock. But anyways, so we're at this party. She was like, halfway through this party, we're gonna go to my friend from high school's party. It's like catered. There's gonna be catered food. So I'm like, oh, amazing. I'm eating tonight. That's all I would care about. So I'm drinking. I'm taking the secret shots in the corner. Although at this point, I'm probably like 7 shots in.
Sure. Okay.
We go to the friend's party. It's catered by Chipotle. So I'm
The
like,
friend's party this is now your friend.
no, this is her friend.
Okay, so you
Okay.
don't really know them at all.
No, I don't know them at all. So I'm like,
Okay.
whatever. So like I'm there, I'm like eating Chipotle, and as we said before, I'm lactose intolerant. Chipotle sour cream.
It's so
It's
good.
so
Yeah,
good.
it
It's
is.
like,
So
what are they putting in that? I want to sip it
And I want
every
more.
second of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be sipping it through a straw. So I put it on my
Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
No, but the difference is like when they leave it to your discretion to decide
Oh,
how
I
much
can't
sour
even
cream.
imagine.
Like, can you imagine? There's just chips there and the sour cream. So spoon feeding myself the damn
You're just
sour
going
cream.
in.
Yeah.
Going in
Going to
again.
town.
Now beer is in my stomach. We have sour cream in my stomach. We have a full Chipotle bowl.
Fireball.
And Fireball.
Okay.
Oh
Great.
man.
I keep drinking. We get back to her house. It's about 10:30. Shots are being passed around.
Okay.
I'm like, tequila, amazing. Sipping tequila.
You know what
sipping
this sour cream would go great with?
tequila, sipping
Right on top.
champagne. So at this point, I'm like a little bit incoherent. My friends are like, Andrew, like, I think you should stop drinking. I don't like when someone tells me what to do when I'm drunk. So I'm like, what do you like? Absolutely not. You don't know me like that. Like, they're my best friend.
I'm literally sober.
I'm sober. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm drinking water. It's getting to about midnight. The parents are in the kitchen. There's a platter of tequila shots for when the clock strikes 12.
Yeah.
I go to reach for one. My friend Jackie smacks my hand. She goes,
And Jackie's hosting.
She's
the
hosting.
event.
She
Her
goes,
parents are the ones watching.
you
this happen.
literally cannot have this shot. I'm like, what do you mean it's New Year's? I'm going to have the shot. She's like, no. So she slaps my hand away. I walk away. Jackie walks away from the shots. I sneak a shot. I get the shot. Parents in the kitchen. There, mind you, there's food all over the countertop.
Okay.
Clock strikes 12. I'm in the corner by myself.
Woo! Yeah.
Woo! Happy New Year!
No
Take
one's
the
over there.
shot.
Yeah.
It's on spot projectile all over the kitchen. All over the kitchen to a point where it's like she had like 2 islands in the kitchen, both islands.
On the food.
Joe, on the food. And the parents are there and I'm like, again, good child. Like, I would be mortified if like a parent didn't like me. Like, absolutely not.
I feel that.
So now I'm like, what the fuck? My friends are like, Andrew, what did you just do? I ran out of that house. I ran out of the house.
On foot.
On foot, started running away. Started running into the street. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. They're like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm doing it.
You're all, show me the nearest bunk bed. I have to do something.
I'm in the middle of running center down the middle of the street. Like, yes, I got. My friend John Paul comes out. He grabs me by the hand. He smacks me in the face and he goes, "You better perk up, perk up." I'm
He
like,
said sour cream, Fireball, everything all over your body. Yeah.
all over my body. What?
Was your intention to get hit by a car?
Yeah, I think at that moment, which is like even scarier. Again, like
But then you get attention and everyone will feel bad for you.
and everyone's like,
Yeah.
the car's not gonna hit me. Like, it's like whatever. But I go back up to my friend's room. They're like putting me to bed, and so she has a carpet in her room, and it was like a really nice carpet, and I had Chipotle.
And I'm not done.
I'm not done. I wasn't done.
I'm just getting started.
And I was just getting started.
That was actually the
So,
appetizer.
Again, and this is this really is a throw up trigger warning for so many people, but
Well, it's
it
too late.
just yeah. I should have prefaced with that. It happened all over the room, all over the carpet, all over her like long champ, which was like that was the thing at the time for the Loyola girl. They're like my long champ, and like all over. She cared more about the long champ. And then, whatever, everybody at the party is mad at me. The brother is upset with me. Like, people are like, who the fuck is that guy? And, like, I'm literally just, like, sleeping in the corner. I wake up the next morning.
Like,
It's
everyone's
like
mad
a
at me.
fucking horror scene in there. I had to leave really early, though, because my sister was having a brunch the next morning, which, obviously, there's always a New Year's Day
So it is
brunch.
very
It's
similar.
always a New Year's Day brunch. And I was, like, sort of cleaning up. And like the thing about like my digestive, no, I can't even get into it. It was like the bowl was on the floor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I
nothing was
feel
digested.
you.
I'm sorry, but anyways, I left the house, and my friends were like, Andrew, are you gonna clean up? Like, you're not gonna clean up? And I just left. My friend still talks to me to this day, though, which is really
Do
shocking.
you think it irreparably damaged the relationship?
Oh, for sure. Seeing that mom, like seeing her mother ever again, like I couldn't even look her straight in the face.
Yeah, that makes
'Cause
sense.
imagine, I
would
ruined that
never.
party.
I would
I ru-
transfer schools.
I ruined that party, and I ruined her New Year's Eve's forever.
And you ruined her long
to
time.
come, all of the ones
Yeah.
to come.
And
I did
most
have-
importantly-
and then I did have alcohol poisoning. So,
Oh, wow.
but I survived.
Didn't you go skiing?
I did go skiing. And the thing about me, that ski trip, like I was not in the place, and it got to a point where I was at the top of the mountain, and I took my skis off, and I slid down the entire mountain on my back. On my back.
Just holding your skis.
Literally, fuck this, yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
Do you think when you went running that it upset your stomach more? That would hurt my
Oh
stomach.
yeah, no. I mean, everything was
Jostling
around.
That's so funny. That doesn't remind me of anything remotely similar to my experience, but it does remind me of a New Year's Eve party I had. I went to, I think like, I forget which year. I think it was like a junior in college, but when I was home again, and it's like a friend of a friend of a friend, and they're having a big party. So I took one of my other friends from school. She was like staying with me, and I took her and like peak drinking. Like I'm just getting absolutely trashed. So is my friend. The thing about my friend though, at the time, her thing was she gets mean when she's drunk, and I don't just mean mean. I mean like violent. Like she gets like like she'll do or fight anything. Like she does not give a fuck, and she's small. Like she's so tiny. And so, as you can see, that poses a problem for me personally because I'm not small. So, like, when she wants to fight and she's, like, about that life, I have to back her up, unfortunately. So, no matter how many talks I had with her, and I was like, hey, girl, let's not fight. When we drink, let's have fun. And sometimes I didn't care because it was funny, and that was mostly because it was against men. So, we're into this party. We're having a good time. It's about to hit midnight. You know, all the worst men in the world are like, I need someone to make out with. Why? Make out with each other if you need that badly. And so one of my buddies is like trying to convince, well, he's not my friend, but it's like my buddy's friend. He's trying to convince my friend to like kiss him at midnight. And he's like, he's constantly like, I just think you're so fine and blah blah blah, like I just think you're so bad, like we should, like he's just getting worse by the hour, like, you know, the more liquor
the desperation.
It's wafting off him. I can smell it. And at the same time, another guy is trying to do the same thing to me, and I'm like, get out of my face, like you're eye level with my nipples, get out of my face. And so I'm like kind of laughing, I'm talking to my other friends, we're kind of laughing, and then my back is to her, we're in the kitchen, right? And my girlfriend's like, she's up against me close because there's a lot of people in there. And so I don't feel her anymore behind me. And then I'm talking to my friends this way. And then I hear a guy go, hey, calm down, man. Hey, I was just kidding. I was just messing around. I turn around. This bitch has a huge knife.
This is literally Euphoria.
Where did she get it? I don't know. I don't know where she got that knife. To this day, I still don't know. And she's going, didn't I fucking tell you that I don't want you to touch me? And she's going like, it's a big ass knife. And so I turn around and I'm like, hey, okay, all right, come on. Come here, girl. Come on over here, girl. And she looks at me. She goes, he doesn't listen. And she's like waving it. Yeah, she's like, he doesn't listen, and I'm sick of it. And she's like waving it around. I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, I hate when people don't listen to me. Why don't you go ahead and give that to me? Go ahead and hand that over to me, girl. I'm like doing a hostage situation. Go ahead and hand that to me. And then I'm kind of laughing because I'm just like in shock. But that's also not the first time she's done something like that. Not necessarily a knife, but she has wielded weapons before when men wouldn't leave her alone. I find that funny personally, because they don't take it seriously unless you do something.
Until there's a knife in the mix.
And all of a sudden I'm the bad guy.
They're quiet.
I want to commit assault with a deadly weapon. All of a sudden I'm a bad guy. And then she's like, he doesn't listen. I'm like, I hate when that happens. Why don't you go ahead and hand that to me? And I'm kind of laughing, and I'm like, did she tell you to leave her alone? And he's like, this bitch is fucking crazy. Like, he's like, she's fucking crazy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, she's crazy. Go ahead and hand that to me. And I get it, and I hide it somewhere, and she's like, because she just doesn't care. She's so nonchalant about it. And I was like, I mean, work, bitch. Work. That's funny.
Yeah, I couldn't take. Good for her.
And my friends thought it was funny because they were like, damn, she was serious. And I kept telling him, I said, I'd leave her alone. Yeah. She's a loose cannon, and I can't control her. And he didn't listen. He found out the hard way. So two different stories.
Two different
vibes. Similar
never
threat
give
though.
Andrew a knife.
That's
worst case.
Honestly, you projectile vomiting was you with a knife.
That was
you were wielding a different.
My weapon is
my voice.
It's in my throat.
Weaponized your throat.
Yeah. Well, I guess when you put it that way.
Okay, let's get into some stories.
Yeah, so we had some of you guys send in your college.
Yes.
I kept saying horror stories, but I meant funny stories. Those were both horror and funny if you really think about it. Okay, this first one's from Kat. She said, I had to tell my roommate that she stunk. Like, I had to open the singular window in every room, or in our room every day to air it out because it was so bad. I'm talking onions and boiled chicken.
I know the smell.
It was familiar.
Yeah. I'm like,
It sounds familiar immediately.
Anyways, it was terrible, but she listened, and then she invested in deodorant. She later on became one of my bridesmaids at my wedding, is one of the best people I know to this day.
Love wins.
I love that.
One of the best people you know, but you
beautiful.
felt the need to send that
Stinks.
story in, huh? Love you though.
Stunk.
She stunk.
Boiled chicken.
I literally
I
asked.
did.
She's like, she smelled like shit. Anyways, one of my besties though, love her, love her
that
down.
girl. She's
Love
crazy.
you, queen.
You know what's so funny? On one of the last episode, I asked Jason this question, so I'll ask y'all the same
Yeah.
question.
This is so important.
Would you rather have someone tell you that you have stinky breath or a stinky ass? I'll give you two different scenarios though.
Yeah,
One
because
of
that's
them
important.
is a random at a party. You don't know them from Adam. They don't know you at all, but they're like, girl, your ass stinks. Or would you rather have someone who's a romantic partner, but they say it still like in a kind of a mean way? No, actually, it wasn't a romantic partner. I said a friend, and they're like, hey, friend to friend,
Your butt.
your ass stinks. What would you rather?
Definitely stinky breath, because I just feel like if I had a stinky ass, a
Well-
lot of things wouldn't. Well, but a lot of things wouldn't.
If
A lot of things wouldn't happen for me.
True.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like I have to at least focus on one. It would be the breath.
I would also. I feel like you can solve breath faster
Yes.
Right.
than you can solve.
I just feel like it's
ass.
less incriminating. Like, you got a stinky ass, girl. What else is going on?
Right.
What's up?
What else you
What
got
is
going
that?
on?
What's up with
talk.
that?
You
Days
want to
was-
go for it? You want to chat?
Yeah, like a random at a party being like, your ass stinks.
Stinks.
Can you imagine?
That's actually
My
that is
worst
really
nightmare.
me to you pretty often.
But like with
Like something reeks.
no trigger. Yeah, he's like, why do you smell like
pastrami?
pastrami? And it's like not me, but then I'm like, I don't know.
Girl, I don't know. Did I ask Jason and she was like, breath every time, breath. Are you
Every
kidding
time.
me? Are you kidding me? Every single time.
No, I feel like ass is so like that's mortifying.
It is. It's a whole nother level. And I
Yeah.
think breath is such a different kind of assault too. Like, we've met some people in the past who obviously will remain
Yeah.
nameless and probably toothless at this point with that kind of breath. But to be honest with you, we met someone, there was one person that we all, my family, like my collective
Yeah.
family. And it was so funny because we were driving once in the car and my mom goes, you know whose breath smells so bad? And then both my dad and my sister said the name in unison at the same time. And my mom was like, oh, how did you know I was going to say that?
Because we smelled it.
And it's literally because it's an assault. Like, she should be put behind bars.
Lock her
And I
up.
am not
lock-
kidding.
Violent.
Get her a Listerine
It was
strip.
so bad that Dason was like, hey, how about you and I both chew a piece of gum? Would you like a piece of gum?
Yeah,
Did
like if
that
I'm
work?
always offering you
Did
gum.
it work? And she's like, no, I don't do gum.
She actually heard it's bad for your teeth.
I feel like you need it though. Let's try it.
Worse than what's already going on with your
Yeah.
teeth. Oh, okay.
I'd rather my breath smell.
Yeah, because
yeah.
sometimes breath, I'm just like, that's a different kind. Like, how do you tell someone that?
Like one time we had an Uber driver. I think it was when we came on your guys' podcast, and we were leaving, and the driver went, and so
Oh, and then it hits.
and hit the
it
fan,
comes
and it
back.
came all the way back. And I watched it hit Billy. He was sitting in front of me, and he was all like, there was like a reaction out of his body, and then it hit me all the way in the back. I was like, that was not good.
Yeah, and I've come across people with horrible breath, and I've come across people with stinky ass, and I do think ass is worse. It's just like they're both so terrible in different ways.
It's more you. It's not that you're expecting a stinky breath because, like, again,
Yeah.
you do come across a lot of people, but like, it's jarring when you smell ass on the street. You know, like, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, you're like,
it'll take my breath away.
No, literally.
Actually, it's
Take my
like,
stinky breath
dude,
away.
we went to a Halloween party recently, and Dason was like, she went to the bathroom. And
Oh
she
my
came out.
God.
She came out. And she goes, "Do not use that bathroom." This is not like a few weeks ago. She goes, "Do not use the downstairs bathroom." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" And she goes, "That guy over there, he just blew it up." And I was like, "How do you know it was
It's
him?"
me.
Yeah.
It was here.
Yeah,
It was
she goes,
Spotify Studios.
she literally was like, "I saw him come out of there, and when I went in, it was horrible.
That's
It smelled like a public restroom. We're at someone's house.
It smelled like a
The
beach
worst
restroom."
is the,
the
and then
beach restroom, you know what I mean?
I know exactly.
I know
what
the
you
smell.
With like a metal toilet.
And it's like
Yeah.
hot. And it's like,
Yeah.
mean. Like fermented.
Fermented.
It really is. The worst is when that happens, then you go in because you have to make an effort to make sure that you walk out and
someone
It's
sees
felt like that
you.
before I went in, and I
like,
always say
listen,
that.
best of luck in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Someone
just
blew it
washing
up.
my hands.
Yeah.
You see how fast I came out? That smell couldn't have
Yes,
been
that's-
me.
you're rushing as fast as you possibly can. I need them to know it's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the answer is collectively breath,
Breath.
because ass is just another thing.
Got it.
Sometimes when you're asking someone, when we were talking about on the show, I was like, how do you not know, girl?
How do you not know?
You
How
go
do
to
you
the
not
bathroom.
know?
The
can.
When you sit
know.
on that
on.
toilet, the waft that comes up,
Come
you don't
on.
smell it?
You don't smell.
You don't sense that? Oh, man. If I ever don't know that my ass stinks, check me to a hospital. Something's
Yeah.
wrong
We
with
will
me.
let you know if you get up and we're walking by and you were like, sticky ass.
Actually, don't tell me. Check me into the hospital. I'm going to run in the street and hope I get hit by a car.
Literally.
I'm doing it.
We're New Year's Eve tonight.
I honestly commend people who are able to tell strangers things like that.
Yeah,
I
no.
can't.
I think that's wild.
I do
Yeah.
too.
I think
Really?
that's
But
actually
there are
rude.
people that
I
go-
think
I think
that's
so
rude.
too.
Say
yeah.
your ass stinks?
Yes. There are some people that are like, oh, I'm just honest. And I'm like, and also insane.
Yeah.
I would never
Never.
do
No.
Then you
that.
gotta make sure all your ducks are in a row. Like you have to make sure
Yes.
your breath or your ass
Then
doesn't
you're
stink either.
defending stinky ass.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's actually fucked up if you say that their ass stinks
Yeah.
because that's
Your
none of your
butt stinks.
business.
I was like, now
Yeah.
you're putting me in that position where I have to defend stinky asses. And that's not cool. Don't do that to me.
It's awful.
I'm just saying, she told her roommate I couldn't do that. I would just
No.
endure and then transfer to another roommate.
I agree.
Honestly.
No, but in a living situation, I would say something.
Would you really?
I think so.
To someone you're not even really that close
Well,
to?
I guess not. I mean, it's different. I've only ever lived with Andrew or my family.
But he said it. He's,
Well, that's different. It's different. Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you know each other, it's
Yeah,
different.
you're right,
I know
you're right.
I've had roommates before where I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm suffocating in here, but I'm not going to tell anyone
Right.
because I don't want to be mean.
I know.
But I do think it's mean that you're trying to kill me. I think that's
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
mean.
I think it's mean you're not self-aware enough to know what's happening to your body. Yeah.
Or to me,
Yeah.
by you not caring about what happens
At
to
all.
yours.
I can't get over boiled chicken. The boiled chicken bridesmaid.
Oh my God, if anyone described my smell as
Boiled
chicken. And boiled chicken specifically.
Boiled chicken.
And
It's
I've boiled
gotta be
chicken
me.
for my dog when he was sick.
smells bad.
And it smells
Smells
like
bad.
farts and ass. Like it's really bad. Oh my God.
And deodorant took care of all that.
Yeah, that's
I
kinda
doubt
guess.
it.
What was her
What-
workout
yeah,
routine? She was
Let
working
me know what
out.
that deodorant is.
I hope
actually
so.
need the deodorant brand.
Okay, this next one's from Izzy. They said, I once got so blasted that I went to the bathroom and hallucinated that I was on a London bus. I went to uni in the north of England, so nowhere near London. And I was talking to the driver. Nobody was there for 15 minutes.
She's just talking by herself.
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
That happened to me once. It had nothing to do with
Izzy?
any of that. No, I was not in a. It was not a
Izzy?
London bus. But anytime I would visit Andrew, because I wasn't really a drinker at all, and I would
Yeah.
visit Andrew like when he was living in Boston. Like I was, we were all post grad. It was like the first year post graduation,
Yeah.
and I would visit Andrew, and he would take about 15 shots because that was his tolerance, and I would match him because I did not know how to drink. So then I would black out without fail every single time. Andrew was like carrying me home.
Yeah.
Which was very sweet. It was very sweet. But I remember
caregiver.
one time when I had blacked out and then tried marijuana for the first time in my life. Why
Yeah.
not? But I add something into the mix, and then I collapsed on Andrew's bathroom floor as he had like his 20-year-old roommates had like a house party happening, and there was only one bathroom. And I woke up the next morning on the floor, so everyone was using the bathroom as I was about
Over your
that,
body.
Around your
or
body.
Nobody was in the bathroom for the rest of the night.
And there was only one,
Yes.
right?
But I remember like fully laying there and playing, like being in a video game for the entire night. It was the scariest. And in the video game I was losing, and it was like you have 2 lives left, and like I would lose again. It was like one more life, and then it was game over. And in my head I was like, oh, this is how you die. I was like, I am
my
dying. I was
God.
like, actually, like it is a video game.
That's terrifying.
That is
Yeah.
horrifying.
But it happened and then I woke up in the morning and I was like, hey guys.
Hey,
What's that?
Let's get brunch. Let's do it.
let's keep it going.
Yeah, but that video game haunts me.
That's fucking
Damn.
insane.
I
don't
wish
know
it was
if
a
I've ever-
London bus.
Right.
Yeah.
At least
There's
give me a little
something chic
something.
about that.
Give me a
Yeah.
plot. Give me something.
Yeah.
Arguing with the driver
Oh,
for
yeah.
15 minutes. I don't know if I could do that.
No.
But that's pretty wild.
Can you imagine if you walked in on that? I'd be
I
like,
would love to.
One
clearly,
second. Yeah.
clearly, I'm interrupting something.
Improv.
Would
Yeah.
would you rather walk in on that or it smelled like ass?
Or have someone tell you your ass smells.
Everything is compared to, or you have a sticky ass.
I know, literally in that clip from our last
Yeah,
episode.
would you rather run a marathon or have someone tell you that your ass smells?
And I was like, I'm running a marathon.
Yeah.
Easily, I'm running a marathon.
Every single time. I think the first time I didn't start smoking until I got out of college. And like where I went to school, everyone was a stoner because I went to school in Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think it was like the second time I smoked was with you. And then I accidentally smoked way too much, and we were watching. Do you guys know Sarah Baska, the creator? She's on YouTube. But
She's
she
really funny.
Did a cover. It was like a folk song cover of "It's Everyday Bro" by Jake Paul, and it was really funny. So it was like her and her friend like running around like in
remember,
fields,
yeah.
and they had like flowers in their hair.
Yeah.
And I remember we were watching it and laughing, and all of a sudden I was like, I literally can't feel my body. Like I have to go lay down right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the way that she
Been
left,
there.
the way that she left the room, like it's just there's three of us there. It's just the three of us, and she just stood up and was like, "I'm going to bed now," like really loud, and I was like,
I thought
"Oh."
I was
You're like,
being so
whoa.
normal.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Wait, you're going to bed now?" And it was like 4 p.m. And
Yeah.
she's like, "Yep." And she just went into her room and she just laid on her back with her eyes wide open for like probably 8 hours. Like she just laid there.
can't.
And I was like, "Dace, do you want to come out here?" And she's like, "Nope."
Nope.
And I was
I'm
like,
good.
"Okay." And I was like, "You honestly, you're kind of scaring me. So you can go in the room. That's totally fine."
Stay over there. I want to make sure you're okay.
My very first time smoking weed ever was off of a dab, which is like
jeez.
clearly I have a death wish, but it was with like that blowtorch
Yeah.
blow.
Yeah.
I was doing that like a pilgrim off a bong. My friend did it, and that was after I had drank absinthe for the first time. So like I was trying to be
Yeah.
5150 clearly. And I remember after I was like, "Oh, that was a mistake." Like after I did that, I was immediately I was like, "Uh-oh, reverse it. How do I undo it? How do I undo it?" And my friends were like, "You're fine. Like just chill, you're fine." And I'm like, "I'm not fine at all." And I like could not stop pacing because I just
yeah.
kept thinking about like, "Oh my god, I'm going to be like
Anxiety,
this
yeah.
forever. I'm going to be like this
Yeah.
forever." And I remember I was just crying because I was so terrified I was going to be high forever. And then my
Googling, like,
friend
how long does one dab hit? Plus absinthe.
I'm like, plus absinthe.
Yeah.
And I
Has
remember
anyone died from one dab hit
yeah,
and
Yeah.
absinthe?
Always.
Yeah.
my old Google search. And I remember my friend was going, "It's okay." She was like rubbing my back and she was just trying to soothe me. Like, so I could like, she's like, "Just close your eyes. Like if you just lay down, close your eyes, it's gonna be fine." And she kept rubbing my back. And I remember thinking like when she was rubbing my back, it felt like she was like moving my skin because I was like hallucinating too. And I was like, "I love you so much, but please stop fucking touching me." I was like, "If you touch me one more time, I'm gonna freak out.
gonna die.
I'm gonna freak out." And then I literally had to lay down on my side with no blanket, no pillow on the hardwood floor. And that was the only way I could like get rid of it. I was just laying in the fetal position on the floor.
Scary.
It's
It's scary when you're a
horrible.
little too
Yeah.
high and you don't know when it's gonna
Yeah,
end.
especially your first experience with
Oh,
it.
girl.
But
And I
it's-
mixed
I
that
feel
with
like it's
that.
like that's always edibles. You know what I mean? Like
I
'cause
feel
that
like
doesn't
when I take
really-
edibles, I feel like
edibles.
I'm never gonna stop being high.
I'm
for the
never
rest
gonna
of my
stop.
life.
That's when I start Googling.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm like, am I gonna die from a
Immediately.
brownie? I had my first edible in college. I was a senior, and my friend was like, just have the brownie. Like it's gonna be fine. You're gonna have the brownie. Obviously, I'm gonna eat the entire brownie. It's a literal
not.
brownie. Like I'd make it a la mode. Like I don't give a fuck. I had the brownie, and then afterwards they were like, that was 100 milligrams. I go, okay, duh. Like whatever. I've never had an edible.
Yeah.
I give it 2 hours. I'm actually shaking back and forth like this. And then I'm like, okay, I need to go into the room. So I go into the room. I throw myself back. My eyes are closed. All I see is like myself like falling, right? Like in like
my
it was
God,
scary.
dude.
I get up. I go, quiet. My friends were like, Andrew, like, what's going on? I'm now talking. No one's there. I'm talking to someone in the room. I'm like, they're being so loud. I'm like, actually being possessed. I think I think it was possessed. My friends were like, Andrew, you
Possessed.
need to go to sleep. Like, you need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you
And
can
then
stop. Is
yeah,
to
you
sleep,
literally
yeah.
go to sleep. Yeah, and I think from there I'm like 5 milligrams or bust. You know what I mean? Like I can't go over 5 milligrams of an edible because I actually will be talking to somebody in the room.
That honestly, like that happened to me the last time I was in New York.
Oh God.
Yeah, like the last time
Then
we
you
saw
saw each
y'all.
other, yeah.
Yeah, the night before
I don't know what's in the weed that is
Here?
sold here
Oh,
in New
it's
York.
poison.
I'll tell you what it is: methamphetamine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Easily.
It's not weed.
Crack cocaine probably.
Yeah.
And I know from experience
Yeah.
now. And what's crazy is my boyfriend got edibles. Well, he had eaten one the night before, and he was like, I think the guy kind of upsold me a little bit. Like, I think the dosage is not nearly as high. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, just take half of one. And they're like little peach rings. I'm
of
like,
course.
okay, work. So I take one half, feel nothing after like hours. I'm like, he's like, I'm going to take another one. I'm like, okay, I'll just take the other half. I took the other half. Girl, when I woke up,
This is the night before we're leaving. We're
you know
flying
that
out in the
scene? You know
morning.
that scene in Wolf of Wall Street where he's on Quaaludes and he's
Yes.
like struggling to get to the stairs.
Yeah.
That was literally me trying to get out of
No.
bed. Girl, I was Jordan Belfort in that bitch. I woke up and I was like, oh my god! Like I was like, my vision was like a pinhole. And I was like, babe. And I was like, waking him. I was like, I think something's wrong. And he turns around. His eyes are so wide open. And my boyfriend has hooded eyes.
Yeah.
Why can I see your whole eye? I'm terrified. I saw it and I was like, oh, it goes back. I was like, he's all quiet.
Quiet.
And he was like, yeah, there was something in there. And I was like, oh. Now I'm even more scared because he's gone and I'm
Yeah.
gone. And I tried to go to the bathroom. I'm like walking the bathroom, and I remember the bathroom we had in our hotel room was like all the walls are black. And for some reason it was stressing me out even more. There's no mirror, there's only one singular light, all the walls are black, and I'm like hallucinating. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like panicking, and I can't even walk 2 steps without being like dizzy and out of breath, and I had to sit down. Like I'm running a marathon.
Yeah.
And then I remember thinking, I'm like, if I go to TSA like this, they're going to arrest me,
Yeah, for
girl.
sure.
Like I look like I'm on drugs.
That dog is gonna eat you up.
Yeah, that drug dog. He's gonna meet his quota today. And I literally panic called my mom. I'm like, something's wrong with me. And I'm like, I'm drugged. I was drugged. And she's like, by what? I'm like, well, I did take an edible, but I think it was too much.
On my own accord. Yeah.
Yeah, and then my agent Alex, like, she had to call and push my flight back, but there was 4 of us, so like her and our cousin Adam had to leave without us, and then we had to wait for a later flight. My mom was like, just close your eyes, like go back to sleep, set an alarm, I'll call you in like 5 hours. I'm like, okay. I close my eyes, open them, 6 hours have gone by, and I'm like and then I'm trying to like pack and shower, and it's just the biggest task. Like I could not, me having to pretend to be sober in the airport.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about Googling, I like went to look what I Googled when I was like panic
Oh,
high.
I'd love to know.
When I went and looked, I literally looked up, does my Amex get me into the Delta?
At least one side of your brain was so functioning. You're like, I'm trying
And
to
I,
get
like,
back.
I looked it up. I was like, I can't. I was like, I need to go into the lounge because the food is free.
Yeah.
And I can't interface with humans. Like, if I
No.
interface with someone,
Yeah.
oh my God, I can't be like, number 1, please. Like, there's just no
Yeah.
way I could do
Yeah.
that.
Oh my
And so I was
God.
like, does my Amex get me into the Delta Lounge? Was the last thing I
That's
Googled.
so
Did it?
good.
And it did.
Thank God.
It did. And I had to bring my boyfriend, but I was like that for over 24 hours.
That's so scary.
it
By the
makes you
time I
think,
got
like,
home, it was 9:30 p.m. I just started feeling normal. And I took it at 6:30 p.m. the night before.
No.
And I was like,
Poison.
hey, no, horrible. Hey.
Horrible.
And even to this day, I'm like, I know there was weed in there, but there was something
There was
else.
something else.
Well, that's we've
Well,
had that
yeah.
experience as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I
It's
bought
horrible.
this really suspicious gumdrop at one point that was like
Like
this
this
size,
big.
and
Yeah.
it was pitch black, and it was an edible, and it
Horrifying.
was allegedly 500 milligrams. We're not 500 milligram people, obviously.
No, clearly.
So I would take a little tiny sliver
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single night, like the tiniest, cutest sliver of this thing. And without fail, every night it would be like, oh, I would imagine that like my parents were like outside of my bedroom door screaming at each other, or like someone is like slamming on my windows every single night. And without fail, 6 p.m. time to slice and have
Girl,
and
let me
dice.
just try one more
I
time.
was like, maybe
Yeah.
tonight it'll be good.
First I was like, not
I
that
won't
bad.
Tap
So I'm-
into some trauma that's clearly from my childhood.
You know what's so crazy is I saw someone say how your brain reacts on edibles, like especially when you take too much, is like your like psyche. It's like a peek inside, and I'm
God.
like, I was like,
For
I didn't need to know
sure.
that.
What's going on in my side?
And the
don't wanna know what's going on
most
there.
devious thing I did was I offered some to Andrew and to our friend Rachel. This was 2020.
Yeah.
This was we were like fully Zooming every Friday night. That's how we
Yeah.
were socializing.
Yeah.
I gave some to Andrew. I gave some to Rachel. I did not mention the side effects because I was like, maybe it's just me.
Yeah.
We're on this Zoom like eating Dominoes. Like it's just being normal. Everyone's fine. And then Andrew's going like, I just see him like being normal and then just twisting his head at 360 degrees to, like, look at something like
At
every
90
couple
miles
of
an hour?
seconds. Yeah. And I was like, Andrew, are you okay? And he was like, yeah, it's the baby. And like, what baby? What?
You guys live together? What
The
baby?
baby.
He's like, no, it's the baby crying in the other room. And I was like, what baby's crying? Like he has like young nieces. I was a niece over. There was no one else there.
He's like, oh no, I'm home alone.
All I heard was a baby crying.
And then wasn't there dogs?
dogs barking.
No dogs.
Now I'm like actually thinking about like my psyche. And
Yeah.
like, babies crying, dogs barking,
What does
and
that
I'm
mean?
possessed.
That's
Yeah.
why.
So
Our friend Rachel was like, hold on, like my parents are screaming outside my bedroom door right now. And I was like,
She heard the same
Rachel, they're
thing.
not. I was like, they're not. Open
Don't
your
open
door.
the door.
And she opened it. There was no one there. It actually was like, it was something that was like,
yeah.
we were playing. It was like
Something
Talk
else
to
in
Me. It was
there.
like that movie Talk to Me. We were,
Yes.
we were speaking to the dead.
Yeah. It makes you wonder. It's like, what's the point?
It's like
It's
unlocking
like,
the
why do we,
I'm out.
yeah.
No,
Joe's
for
out, Joe
real.
tapped out.
I tapped
It's
out.
yeah, too much.
Too much.
Absolutely
After
too
speaking to
much.
the dead.
Can't handle it. And I'm man enough to admit it
Yeah.
at this point.
Can't
I
handle
was
it
like,
either.
We
hey,
don't buy weed
can't
when
do
we
it
come here
anymore.
anymore.
You should
No.
never.
You shouldn't.
Okay, so this is the last one.
Okay.
This is from Sienna. She said, my freshman year, I got the balls to ask my class crush out on a date. I immediately learned that he had a lisp, which is, of course, not an issue. But on our first date, I tried to show him my Sid the Sloth impression, which he didn't realize, and then he said, are you making fun of me? It was super awkward, but we proceeded to hook up, and then I never spoke to him ever again.
Well, clearly it wasn't that
Oh,
awkward because
whoa.
you guys saw each other naked, so clearly it wasn't
Yeah.
that awkward.
How
That
did
was-
you get to Sid the Sloth?
On the first date,
We both sounded so long eyeless. The
Sid the
sloth.
Sloth. How did Sid get brought up?
I don't know.
The way that she's like, oh yeah, do you know this impression? And she does it and he goes, are you making fun of me?
I would cry on spot immediately.
Why did she pick one with a lisp? She could have
Yeah.
picked any animal from that movie. If you're talking about Ice Age,
know.
you could have done the impression of anyone.
I don't know.
She could have done a
She's
Ray
like, it's not as
Romano.
recognizable. This one's in my repertoire. That's what I have to do.
She's like, it's just a coincidence. He also has a lisp.
Yeah.
I did
I'm a
not plan that.
character
Seems like
actress.
more of a coincidence.
Like, what was her other one? Sylvester the cat. They're just all people with lisps. She's like, I've just kind of mastered a lisp. I'm sorry.
Oh,
My
sorry.
bad.
Yeah.
She's doing bits at the table. That's why she's
I do respect that part of it. She was doing an SNL audition.
Yeah.
so this is probably my big break.
Lauren Michaels.
Yeah.
That is honestly
Oh.
humiliating.
Horrifying.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
I would think about it every day of my life. Yeah, that haunts you.
Yeah, one of the best like stories in the sense of like people quote it to me all the time is when I was telling about that first date I went on when he bought ice cream for us.
Oh yeah.
And we were walking.
They went to 7-Eleven on a first date.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That is what happened.
That
There's
is
a
what
lot
happened.
of options.
And it was also like really late at night too. I remember because I was like, that's why it was at 7-Eleven because there was like only thing that was open. He also didn't
Sure,
have a he,
that's why.
he also didn't have a car. Anyways, this isn't about me. So we're walking and we're eating the ice cream and we're like, it's like first date shit. So you're like making small talk. So you're like eating ice cream and you're like, yeah, like so like how many siblings do you have? Right, like shit like that. He's like, oh, I have 2 sisters. And he's like, as he's talking, first of all, he ate the ice cream like, ominous.
Also, he bought 2.
He bought 2, and he
he
asked
knew
me
he
if
was
I
gonna-
wanted 2, and I said, no, I'm good with 1. And he had 2 and finished both of them before I even finished my 1. So
Respect.
hungry. That's okay.
Hungry.
Hungry girl. That's okay. 1 was a sandwich, 1 was a popsicle. I remember that.
I don't like that.
Because
at
the
all.
sandwich he ate in 3 bites, and then the
Well, how are we, like-
popsicle he ate in
We're
4.
We're both like-
falling for him.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, he was like, he was handsome, he was an athlete, and I was like into it,
Yeah.
whatever. And so he eats the ice cream very aggressively. I'm like, okay, kind of hate that, but it's fine. And then he's balling up the trash as he's talking to me. And I'm like, oh yeah, so like how many siblings do you have? He's like, oh, I have like 2 sisters. And as he's like answering me, he like cocks his hand back so far and throws the paper hard as fuck. Like, he literally goes, ah! And, like, launches it over the fence. And for some reason, that action, I was like,
The ick, yeah.
the
Just like a
ick.
choice to proudly
I just feel
litter
like to go out of your way to litter to that degree.
on a first date.
And to show you like to show you his
Littering
strength,
on a
like he's like
first
on a
date.
track team.
Well, and that's why I
Yeah.
said, like, even, like, do you know
Yeah,
how
shot
Javelin
put.
throw.
That's why I said, do you know how hard you have to, like, cock your handbag to throw paper that far? Like, it went far. Like, it went over a like 8-foot fence and landed on
Did you
the
see how far that went? Anyways, I have 4 sisters.
Yeah. And yeah, I remember too, he had a plastic bag and he balled up the plastic bag and
No.
pushed it through the fence. To which I'm like, why did you have to throw the paper, but you pushed the bag through the, like, that felt like a choice. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
why throw
You perfectly placed
the
plastic.
entire date? I thought about that. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah, I would be stuck on that.
looking at him, I was like,
Mm-mm.
I watched you throw a bombsicle, like, piece of paper.
A bomb pop.
A bomb pop. I watched you throw it over
You
that.
can learn a lot about somebody when they throw paper over a fence.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Would
his
you? That's what I said.
character.
Would you have been more embarrassed if he threw it and it just flew backwards, like towards him?
So
Yeah,
I
like
have
it just,
something-
like, it whiffed. Yeah.
would you rather them throw the paper over the fence or have a sneaky ass?
Throw the
Tell you
paper
that
over
your
the
ass
fence.
stinks. Yeah.
Actually, after watching it, maybe have a stinky ass. I don't know. It was just that traumatizing. I don't
What
know.
if he threw it and then you smelled the stinky ass?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Then
you
I'm
would-
once again I'm reiterating I'm running in the street and I'm getting run over by a car.
I'm doing
Literally.
it.
I'm looking for the nearest bunk bed and I'm telling everyone I'm about to do it.
Clear it.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
about to
clear
do
the
your
way.
deed.
I'm about to do it.
That's the code word.
Literally. Well, thank you guys so much for
Thank
coming
you for
on this
having us.
episode.
So
What do you guys have
happy.
going on? Is there anything you want to
Yes.
promote before we close it out?
You can tune into Good Children every Wednesday across all podcast platforms.
Period.
And we're on all social media at Good Children Pod.
Do you guys post on
Love.
YouTube too?
Yeah.
Yes.
You
I
can
think
watch
the
us on
video
YouTube.
version is funnier of
Yeah.
most podcasts because then you can see like facial reactions.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I agree. And you can watch us on Spotify too.
Oh, cute! I love
Love,
that. Okay.
love, love, love. Make sure y'all tune in to Good Children, to our faves. We absolutely adore you guys.
Thank you. We
Thank you
adore
so much for coming
having
on.
We'll put your
us.
guys' their things will all be linked in the description box below because you guys have a Patreon too.
Yep.
We'll link that in there. They have their personal
Yes.
accounts.
We love Patreon.
Yeah.
We
We love our
Patreon.
Patreon. We both do collectively 2 Idiot Girls and Good Children
Yeah.
Patreon. We
Yes.
love.
And we have some crossover. People are excited.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
I know. I'm very
They're
excited.
They're
freaking
so
out.
fired up.
Yes.
I'm like, hello. Duh.
It makes
Look at
sense.
us.
It
We're
makes
twins.
Yeah.
Hello.
Really think about it.
Yeah.
4 idiot girls.
Yeah, 4
idiot
idiot girls
girls.
and
Here
4
we are.
good children.
Yes.
Aw.
But if you enjoyed this episode, you can stream other episodes everywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can watch the video version on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Other than that, we love you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.